We're rolling?
You're live.
Well, boys and girls of all ages, welcome back to the March 30th, 2024 edition of the Chicago TI User Group. This is a little bit of a different event than normal. First of all, it's a different day. This is the second time in March that we've met. And it's a result of some conflicts that we have for the April meeting time, which is usually next week. But here we are at any rate, and we have a rather enlarged group. First of all, our president, Vic Stirrup, is here. Jim Mazurk, who is doing the video production. John Bakey, who is the editor of our newsletter.
And webmaster.
And his brother, David, and a new member of our group, Kyle, who has just come aboard.
Let's hear it for Kyle. Welcome, Kyle.
And I'm here as well, Hal Shanfield, fair chairman and general dog's body. So we do have a new feature today, something that we haven't had before, but I'm going to turn it over to John Benke, who's going to tell you all about it.
Okay, thanks, Hal. We're going to try this out for fun. We want you to play along with us at home. We have the Chicago TI User Group Trivia, 15 questions, multiple choice. And the challengers are, this is going to be between the president, Victor, and our ever illustrious Hal. And all I ask you to is give it a couple seconds. We want the people at home to be able to play along with us. And the winner will be receiving a check for $1 million. That's not U.S., but it's going to be $1 million. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to alternate between Victor and Hal. And Victor is going to go first because he's the president and he's more important than Hal.
That's right.
If
Are we going to have the gentleman on camera?
you guys okay for being on camera?
Yeah.
Okay, they're going to be on camera.
Okay.
And if you get the answer wrong, the other person could try to guess the correct answer. Dave, would you mind keeping score?
Sure.
With your phone or whatever. Okay, here's the first question. And this is going to be for Victor. It's multiple choice, okay?
Oh, no.
You ready?
Yes.
Okay, here we go. Scott Adams produced a number of text-based adventure games for the TI. These games required the adventure module, and each separate game was distributed on either cassette or floppy disk. Which of the following four was not one of his games?
Okay.
One of these is not going to be one of his games. Okay, your first choice is Pirate Adventure. Your second choice is The Count. The third choice is Quest for the King. And the last one is Voodoo Castle. Which one of these was not a Scott Adams game?
The Quest for the King was the Tunnels of Doom adventure that
Correct.
uses instruments.
1 point for Victor. Very good. Okay. Now the next one's going to be, number 2 is going to be for Hal. Are you ready, Hal?
As much as I'll ever be.
Okay, you got phone a friend? You got all that ready? Okay. Number 2, Infocom also distributed text adventures for the TI. Its claim to fame was that instead of only being able to use 2-word commands like go north, you can give instructions in complete sentences. Which of the following was not one of their adventure games? You got 4 choices here. Which one was not from Infocom? Okay, Zork 1, Adventureland, Deadline, or Planetfall. Which one was not an Infocom adventure?
Inasmuch as I am not a gamer whatsoever, I'm just going to take a wild guess and say the last one.
Planetfall. That is incorrect. Victor, do you know? Zork 1, Adventureland, Deadline, or Planetfall?
I go with Adventureland. It is not.
Correct.
Adventure.
Victor gets another point. Adventureland, of course, was a Scott Adams game. Okay, Victor, you're up for number 3.
Okay.
You're leading, 2-0, right? Okay. During TI's heyday, some TI owners operated computers commonly called BBSs or bulletin board systems. These computers allowed normally one person at a time to dial into the computer and exchange information via text messages and even download programs. The person who ran these computers were commonly called sysops. What does sysops stand for?
System operator, I thought.
Perfect. You didn't even need it. That's a 1 point for you. You didn't even need the multiple choices. Very good.
I always thought it was SysOp. Have I been pronouncing it wrong?
Sysop, sysop, either way.
I'd
I
always
might have
say
pronounced it
that,
wrong.
But, you know, whoever said
Sorry, I
it, nobody ever
jumped the
said
gun
it.
on
you
you.
know?
Are you
No, that's
are you a
fine.
system operator or a system operator?
Hal, you ready?
Yeah.
Okay, here we go. You might know this one.
Uh-oh.
Okay. Number 4. Which of the following legendary Chicago TI user group members did not run a bulletin board system? Which one of the following did not run a BBS?
Okay.
Was it Carol Goldstein, Mike Mazamick, Larry McMahon, or Ernest Pergram? I might have pronounced it wrong. Sorry, guys.
Well, Carol.
Who did not run it?
Okay, Carol was the newsletter editor, so I'm going to say that Butch, her husband, did in fact run the BBS, the first one that I remember.
That's your final answer?
I'm going to say, yeah, Carol.
Very good. Carol Goldstein ran the newsletter. Her husband ran the bulletin board system for many years.
That one tricked me.
That's a sneaky.
Yeah.
Well, hell no. Okay, number 5. This is for Victor. While it's common knowledge that the official spokesperson for the TI was Bill Cosby, which well-known celebrity was the spokesperson for TI's main rival, the VIC-20?
Okay.
Was it Roger Moore, William Shatner, Burt Reynolds, or Ray Walston? Who was the spokesperson for TI's main rival, the VIC-20? Roger Moore, William Shatner, Burt Reynolds, or Ray Walston?
I'm very ignorant on that. I'll go with William Shatner.
Yes,
Oh,
yes he was. Okay, back to Hal. What's the score, Dave?
4-1.
4-1. You gotta catch up, Hal.
I'm trying.
Here we go. Number 6. Which personal computer was released first? Was it the TI 994A? Was it the VIC-20, the Atari 400, or the Timex Sinclair? Which was the first one released? The TI-4A, the VIC-20, the Atari 400, or the Timex Sinclair?
I remember the Timex Sinclair. I never, the 4A I know came after the 4, so that can't possibly be the answer. So I'm gonna, remember this, I remember the $50 Timex Sinclair, but I think it might have been, since we had a battle with Atari, I'm gonna say Atari.
Correct. The Atari 400 came out before all the others.
Just a guess.
It was a good guess. Okay, Victor, you feeling the pressure?
yeah.
Number 7, the TI-99 was the first computer to have what? Was it 16K of memory, a real keyboard, a metal exterior, or a 16-bit processor? First personal computer, 16K of memory, a real keyboard, a metal exterior, or a 16-bit processor?
I'd say the 16-bit processor.
Yes.
That's a big selling point on it.
Yes, it was. And Jim knows why, but that's another story. Okay, Hal, number 8. This is the big one.
Uh-oh.
Here we go. When the TI-99-4, not the 4A, was originally introduced, Texas Instruments included a monitor in the package and did not sell the TI-99-4 alone. Why did TI include an expensive monitor with the TI-99-4? Was 1, they originally intended the TI-99-4 to be a business computer? 2, TI's RF modulator, which was required to connect to a TV, could not pass the FCC. 3, they had a deal with Zenith to produce monitors that they sold at a high markup. Or 4, they originally felt that people might have difficulty connecting the TI to a television.
Well, knowing greedy people at TI who wanted to control the vertical markers, and knowing that TI was granted the right to do its own RF testing down in Lubbock, I've actually been there and seen the little wooden shack that they used. I'm going to say that they might have thought that people would have difficulty connecting to the TI, to the TV, even though it was relatively simple. That's my answer.
No.
Okay.
Victor, do you know the answer?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I read that the FCC requirements for RF
We got
wouldn't
props.
allow the RF monitor at the time. And yeah, Hal's right, TI did do their own RF testing because their big deal is making black boxes for government equipment and such.
So is that your answer?
Yes, that the FCC would not allow this at the time. People could certainly hook up their Atari video game to the two wires on the back of their TV set. And this is no different. It even has a little ribbon wire for hooking up to antenna.
Victor, you are correct. The TI the modulator would not pass the FCC. Later on, they were granted a waiver,
Yeah.
and they were able to then stop selling the monitor and selling the unit separately. Okay, that means it's actually back to Victor
Oh,
again.
okay.
Okay. Number 9, which storage device was not sold for the TI-99/4A? Which one was not sold for the TI-99/4? Was it a cassette recorder, a disk drive, reel-to-reel tape drive, or a solid-state module?
Reel to reel,
Correct.
because they sold the P-Box and disk drives, and they sold their
What's
own
the score there?
portable cassette recorder that was rebranded from other manufacturers.
And nothing
Cheap,
says,
yeah.
nothing says home use like a full rack vacuum column, reel-to-reel tape.
Oh, yeah. You know, Hal, you're getting smoked, but we're,
I
but-
know. Well, see,
but we're
that's why
gonna,
he's the president.
that's fine.
Yeah.
There's a
Okay.
lot of people online that want to be able to use their reel to reel for,
Okay.
Well, that's a different breed of people.
Okay, number 10, this is for Hal. Which game did Texas Instruments not produce a knockoff or a look-alike game? Which of the following games was not, the TI did not make a knockoff game?
I get all the games.
Well, okay. Was it Duck Hunt, Space Invaders, Dodge 'em, or Pac-Man? Which one of these did TI not make a knockoff game?
Well, I've seen Pac-Man, and I don't know Duck Hunt. I'll say Duck Hunt.
Correct. Duck Hunt was originally came out with the Nintendo. It was a light gun game. Pac-Man, they came out with Munchman. Space Invaders, of course, was TI Invaders. And Dodger was called, what was the Dodger game with the race cars? Oh, I can't remember.
Is it Car Wars?
Car Wars, Car Wars. Okay. Okay, very good. You got a point. Now we're
It's
back
Car
over.
Wars that's put me off gaming forever.
I'll show you a trick with that.
Okay, number 11. This goes to our illustrious president. Which was the number 1 selling game for the TI-99/4A? The number 1 selling game. Was it Alpiner, Parsec, Hunt the Wampus, or Munchman? Which was the number 1 selling game for the TI?
Wow. Got me on that one. It's, I guess with Hunt the Wampus.
Incorrect. You want to take a guess
I'll
for the
say-
steal?
I'll say Parsec because it's the one that my kids wanted the very most.
Parsec is correct. Parsec was their number 1 selling game.
Hal steals
You only got a
the
couple more, so this one goes to Hal.
Hal.
Okay, number 12 was not one of these versions. Was it the TI-99-2, the TI-99-8, the TI-99-7, or the TI-99 Business? Which was not a planned computer from Texas Instruments?
Would have to be the 7 because the other 3 were in fact produced. Didn't sell very well, but I would say the 7.
The 7? Incorrect.
Dick, the steal?
The,
Will be embarrassed. spare time, look up TI-992. There actually was a TI-997, and that was gonna be their business computer. Okay, the TI-999 business was never
Well,
a
there
real
was a
computer.
Pro, there was a TI-99 Pro.
Yes.
computer. They used to have, I actually sat down in front of one in the big store down in Chicago, right next to the river. And, so,
Well, all I know is there was a TI-997 planned, and there might have been a Pro, okay, but it wasn't called the
They
business.
never called it the business.
Okay, nobody gets a point for that one. That's the first one nobody got. Okay, number 13, we're almost finished, guys. Hope everybody playing at home is keeping score. Number 13, this goes to Victor, I believe, right? Which was not one of the official programming languages that Texas Instruments released. Which was not one of the official programming languages that TI released. Was it Extended Basic, Fortran, Pascal, or Logo?
We'll go with Fortran.
Correct. It actually came out in the 50s. One of the, hell would have had a harder time with that one.
no, actually,
Oh, you knew that one?
my roommate
Master
studied
at it.
Fortran back in college, which was.
Okay, another point.
Navy,
Okay, was it the community center, the fireside lounge?
Fireside Lounge.
Correct. I don't have to go any further. Fireside lounge, that's the point. And which individual in the TI community was not a part of the Chicago user group? Which individual was not part of the Chicago user group? Was it Nick Iacobelli, Ron Albright, Ernest Pergam, or Jerry Strauss? Who was not part of the Chicago users group? Nick Iacobelli, Ron Albright, Ernest, is it Pergam, or how do you say that?
Pergram.
Pergam, or Jerry Strauss?
I'm unfamiliar with the names of the second and fourth, so I'll go with the second answer.
Ron Albright?
Yeah.
Correct. Ron Albright was a well-known individual in the TI community, but he originally was not from the TI user group.
Okay.
Okay, what's the final score, Dave?
9 for Victor, 5 for Hal.
Whew, I got 5, wow.
I hope everybody at home had a good time with this. If you scored more than like 11, you're like a TI god, lowercase g, of course. Otherwise, if you scored less than 5, you owned a VIC 20.
Whoa.
Okay. And I'm done.
I remember seeing the Timex Sinclair advertised heavily.
It came afterwards. It was
Yeah,
very
remember-
tiny. It was a
Yeah,
kit
yeah.
computer, remember,
Right.
originally?
Yeah, like that, it had,
And it was a secondary market because that was the US version of the Timex, what is it, ZX80?
Yeah, well, I know it came out kit form.
Yeah, the Z.
It was $50 in kit form, I believe, and I think it was $99 later on.
Yeah,
They
if you
would
wanted it
if you wanted it assembled.
and it was about the size of an iPad.
It was
pretty
tiny.
small.
I have 2 of them.
You got 2 of them?
Very portable.
And when you see the TI-992, you're gonna be embarrassed.
Oh.
Yeah, that
'cause
was the dumbed down version.
Yes,
Not
and
dumbed down,
they
but-
never released it because the price wars brought the TI-994A so low that they couldn't make a profit. Originally, when it was like $300, I guess they intended on selling the 2 for like $100 less or $150 less. But then when it dropped down to $150,
Points in time.
Some outfits do, they try to make it up on software.
that's what TI did. But one of the reasons I heard, Jim will correct me, that they used that GROM was that I guess there was a involved, yeah.
Yeah,
Leak
that was
kitchen.
one reason why they came out with the quality improved consoles was to lock out
That's the one.
third-party ROM only.
Yeah, they
vendors.
figured out how to do that, and then,
Yeah.
the gray one, which I think you just
But
picked up.
very few of those consoles, of the white consoles, are quality improved. I believe it says on this screen, QI on it. Somebody was going back and forth on the TI-related Facebook.
Well, I remember later on,
pages.
even with the gray ones, they figured out a way around it.
Oh, yeah, there was a little plug-in, and, somebody, nobody has ever invented anything that you can't somehow, either corrupt or, get around, and decode and, dear God, all this security stuff that is being invented, we're always one step behind the guys for whom it's a a livelihood to break into something.
Okay,
We have a question
you have a question?
from the live feed. Will the questions and answers be posted somewhere?
As a matter of fact, yes, they are going to be in the newsletter. I don't know if it's March or if it's April. Let me check.
Who's asking?
Carrie Shug? Shug?
Let me see here. Let me check and see here.
I would like to know the names.
Yes, they're going, it's, the May edition are key.
Right.
Thanks, Dave. Keep monitoring that.
Well, if you can pass those manuals one at a time in front of the camera there. This month I was going to demonstrate some of the funnel web environment and what it is, how it works, and just a brief rundown. And the red book was the actual manual for funnel web printed by the Hoosier User Group, because I don't think funnel web ever printed an actual paper manual. Everything was on disk. And the white book is for how to configure this program if you want to change it, because it's very confusing on how to do it. So we'll go to this web page in the funnel web. Hal, would you like to read this, please?
No, dear God. Funnel Web Operating Environment by Tony and Will McGovern. Funnel Web came first as a useful and more powerful option for the TI writer.
Excuse me, it's Funnel Writer, which is their word processing.
What did I say? Oh, yeah, Funnel Writer.
Yeah.
First came as a useful and more powerful option to TI writer. And this expanded and expanded and became Funnel Web, which is so much more than a word processor.
So this is the main menu screen you'll see, and it's a series of hierarchical menus where a TI writer branches off to a submenu of all the TI writer related programs. Editor Assembler branches off to all EA type programs. XP Return takes you back to the extended basic cartridge that you loaded this from. XP Program is a users list of the extended basic programs you want it to run. It can also run the MyArc Disk Manager. It can load TI Forth, and on the right side, the A, B, C, and D, you have the disk patch. I think that's a sector editor program. And D, the 40-column editor. The last thing FunnelWeb did while it was available was go to 80 column. So you could have DR40 or for a 40 column disk review, which is their disk manager, or you could have 80. 80 on a TI screen is a little crowded, 80 columns.
So it wasn't no special hardware, it just worked on everything? Because
No, it
I didn't
needed
think they had an
special-
80 column mode.
Yeah, you needed either that Digit AVPC that went in the P box, or you needed a big daughter card that replaced your 9900 video chip with a big card with a, I think it was a 9938 or a 9958
Because
video.
I remember seeing third-party text editors that did the scrolling thing, where they would do the 40 columns.
Uh-huh.
But that was probably TI Writer.
A TI writer, yeah. And so I had a TI image maker that used the daughter card. It was the first one that could go 80 column, 40 column at will.
What's his name? The guy that showed up one time at the fair in a kilt from San Francisco, California. Nice fellow. Last name was Brown, I think. Wrote the 80 column TI writer display, and it was great. You had to study it a little bit, and the bigger your monitor, of course, the easier it was to see. Except for the numbers. The numbers all ran together, which wasn't a problem if you just left the space between the numbers. And a telephone number, for instance, you could read it very easily. But because it was 2 pixel or 3 pixel.
Yeah, it's pretty crowded.
Yeah, it was pretty crowded, and it actually worked. It actually worked on a 40 column screen.
I remember seeing that it was really hard to read. I guess once you got used to it.
I experimented quite a bit with the Kara 1 files, and I think on the disk called the Kara 1 editor, they had 5 or 6 sample Kara 1 files of different courses, different shaped letters to try to get around that being confusing to see an 80-column load.
Mhm.
They even had one Carol One file where the letters came out, they were sideways for, like if you were running multi-plan sideways or something like that. Or if you wanted to rotate the screen 90 degrees. So yeah, there's different Carol One files. You take any of them and you rename them Carol One.
Well, just a point though, remember, it was always a joke because TI only had, I think, 28 columns and then 32 for graphic mode, right? And then 40 if it was in text mode, which is black and white, right? But their main rival, the VIC-20, if I remember correctly, only had 22 columns.
Yes.
And it was ridiculous.
Yeah,
I mean,
nobody
so-
complained about that. Well, you also had what, the 64-column fourth editor. There was a nice compromise.
That's the one that I've seen. I've
Yeah.
seen the fourth one.
Mhm. So anyway, here we go into loading funnel web. Back to you, Al.
Uh-oh. Loading funnel web. Funnel web will load with almost anything and is configured to use a number of utility programs, some of which are supplied in the package. Note that some menu options for external programs require you to add the programs from other sources and use the required file names. The extended basic loader must not be edited and should not be saved with MyArc Extended Basic 2.
Okay, it's got assembly embedded in it. So they don't want you touching that in an extended basic environment. They only want you modifying that from funnel web.
Funnel web is highly configurable, and therefore you should first make a good backup of your disks and place them safely apart. Take the time to read the multiple part documentation. Always a good idea to read the docs, always. If you load with Extended Basic, you will see the XP selection screen. If you select option 1 or 2, the Extended Basic environment is destroyed and will need to be rebooted to get back here. Oh, yes.
Don't do that.
Yeah, the selection screen can be configured and has some sample entries by way of demonstration.
Okay.
Everybody understand that at home, because if you didn't,
What was that second part?
I'm the president of that club.
So,
I didn't
If you press
understand.
1 or 2, you're gonna destroy it.
Yeah. So here's a super extended basic, which I prefer over TI extended basic, because if you press the 2 and hold it down, it will not automatically try to load a load program from disk 1. Also, it has a few more bells and whistles in it, and you can do a disk catalog from that super extended basic environment. So I'm just gonna press 2 and let go of it, and it'll load funnel web off of disk 1 here.
That was pretty
Okay.
quick.
Yeah, we're using a solid state drive here. And there you go, so that's very similar. Now, you might go, what's this color we've got here? Well, funnel web, you can configure your colors by pressing the 0 key. You'll notice 0 is not on this screen, and they have predefined screens of different color combinations. So I'm gonna press it. No, I was gonna press it. There we go. So you got white on black, white on green. When I first got this funnel web for the compact flash disk, this was the default colors. James, I don't know if this is showing up on your,
One of the old
It
green
is.
screen monitors, remember?
Yep.
yeah.
Back in the day,
Oh, I still
either
have-
green or amber.
I have amber and
Yeah.
page white.
So,
I knew, Brad.
I went through some difficulty for a couple of weeks trying to figure out, well, how do you edit the screen color without having to do this? And sometimes you want a high contrast screen of a radically different color, because you want to know that you're loading a particular program.
This one's very popular in Lakeview.
Yeah. And here we go, black on white. And here's the most popular color, is the white on blue.
Yeah, that's a pretty pleasant,
Yeah.
that's easy to read.
Back in the age of the CRT monitors.
Isn't that the same default that TI Writer had?
Yeah.
Yeah. But anyway, we'll go into the, you have your program editor. This is for assembly work. This is a version of TI Writer specifically for writing programs in it, that it knows that what you're doing, so it will turn it into a program rather than having to convert a text file into a program. It already knows how to do it. You've got your assembler for if you're doing source code, It will assemble that. You have your loaders for different programs. Of course, there's number 4, go back to XP.
It's the loaders where you get to fill in the menu, all those blank spots?
Yeah, here you go, text mode for TI Writer. You got the GPL environment, EA program, EA load and run. Script loader, low mem, load and run auto start, load and run auto off.
This thing's very sophisticated.
Yes, it is very comprehensive. As an example, here's one program that they encourage you to use a lot, was Remind Me.
I was gonna ask that, I was, okay.
So this is Remind Me version 1.2 by John Johnson. And it is set up to load the month and year from disk 1. So we're gonna load,
I hope it doesn't explode. 2024.
there we go. And there we are. Oops, wrong disk. Load. There. So. and
Today's
you
the
go-
15th?
No, but it always starts in the middle of the month, because since you have to arrow around
Beware
the
the
I
entire
Ides,
see.
month.
beware the Ides of March.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
There's a
It's,
star.
it's the same distance everywhere, but you notice for the 30th, there's a dot there, so
Yeah.
by holding the function key in X and then D, we can go there, press enter, and here's the notes I put in for that day.
So that's how you keep track of when to come?
Yeah,
Funnel one?
yeah, yeah.
A piece of paper might work, but I like your, this way better.
Start funnel back. So you can press the function 9 to go back, and any other months that you have. Now you can load a month, you can save it, you can print it out, erase it. Fine, you can configure the program slightly.
Question, if you have something there, does it put like an asterisk there, like on the other one, so you know it's occupied? You know how you're looking at the menu, like say you put an entry for,
That's what the dot is.
so the dot shows up if there's
The
something in
dot
there?
shows up on that day once you load that month.
Perfect, okay, great.
So you could have your PIO, or you could have an RS-232. your
So if there's
recent-
no asterisk there, there's no entry on that day?
Yeah,
Okay,
you can change your text color, your screen color. Your default drive is 1, and the default date that this will try to save, or to always load, is 3 of 2024.
So, question on that is, do you think that that iPhone's copied, because iPhone calendars does the exact same thing with the dot?
well, when was this made? When was Funnelware made?
1987?
So.
That
see-
predated the iPhone. Oh,
iPhone, yeah.
I think Funnelware needs to talk to Apple.
Yeah, yeah.
Either that, or if in Apple fashion, they've managed to patent it. There's prior art to
Yeah,
overturn.
wasn't that the?
Let me ask you a question before you go anywhere. Is that DM1000, the famous thing from Todd Kaplan? Disk Manager 1000? You remember?
Let's try loading DM1000.
Yeah. Have you seen Pirates of Silicon Valley? They do a
Bruce, oh, that's something else, that's not him, huh? Because he did a disk manager for our group. Many
There
years
are
ago.
many disk managers, so,
Yeah, okay, that's fine, I'm not,
Yeah. yeah, this is a popular one.
I guess it's called, they're all
So
called
here we
disk
can,
manager.
Look at the file utilities, we can look at drive 1 and see what the files are. So you got a README file up there.
Well, that's nice.
And the second one, 03/2024, that's the data file we just created with Remind Me. And all the 2-letter files are programs that are designed to work in the funnel web environment. They won't necessarily run from an editor, assembler, cartridge bear. They
Interesting.
need you to load funnel web first. Here's all your Kara 1 files that they have, so you can juggle them around. Rename Kara 1 something else, and then rename the something else to Kara 1, and it will load that by default. So yeah, so funnel web has got quite a few files here. You got funnel web doc there for disk review 40, 40 column. Funnel web doc for the editor assembler in 40 column. You got help files for funnel web. Down here, oops, that's not what I want to do. Down here,
And I just realized the connection, your little plushy spider sitting on
oh
the
yeah,
monitor.
yes.
That's,
That's,
wasn't there an image or something?
That's, yeah, I hope nobody has a pathological fear of spiders.
Jim, you gotta
That's-
show the spider.
That's
It's been on
Lucas.
camera.
Oh, has it? Okay, that's fine. Florida, you can
Lucas
explain.
And
the spider.
Hal's buddy during the competition.
Oh, has it?
Yes.
Question though,
Yeah.
say you're a non-programmer, is this still useful for people who don't program?
It
Or
is because of the menuing system, you can put a whole bunch of your favorite programs that you want.
So say you got a whole bunch of basic, extended basic, or other, you could put those on there and the menu system would load whatever you wanted?
If you tell it to,
Okay,
and that is the second book, the Cliff's Notes version, as you said.
yes.
Of how to use funnel web on configuring this. And some people have probably lost their mind trying to configure funnel web because some stuff is not obvious. And here, I'll show you. You see, we're back into like black on a cyan screen. But if I load off the TI Writer disk, we'll get the option of F5 Funnel Web Configure. Funnel Web was originally conceived for somebody with 2 or more floppy drives as the poor man's hard drive. Where with a MyArc controller, you could have 3 disks on the TI side, and you could have 3 more floppy disks controlled by a MyArc floppy disk controller or a MyArc HFDC.
I could see a lot of uses for this.
Yeah, and remember, this is back in the day before you could really hook up a hard drive to a TI, and we didn't have emulators and, you know, laptops and stuff that were powerful enough to run a TI.
This was cutting edge once upon a time.
No, it's not true, they had hard drives back then, and I remember
Yeah,
they were
you
selling a
could-
5 meg, not a 5 gig, 5 meg
Meg.
hard drive,
A couple
and it was
$100.
huge, a couple $100.
Oh, yeah.
This was like $1,200.
Yeah, that was. Yeah, I remember when we bought one for the BBS, and Mike Maximic and I were going to Lima, for the Lima Fair, and we stopped by a Radio Shack, and they had a 5 meg that they sold us for $20. And we didn't know why it was so cheap. And the guy said it had, you know, been returned. And so we just took it and ran. We paid him the $20, took it and ran. Put it on the BBS, and it lasted for a good 2 months before it
2 months.
packed in. But in the meantime, it had the Cynthia, what was her last name? Had the file on there, which was by request on the secret database on there of all the, dare I say, naughty pictures, naughty GIFs, and Cynthia Becker.
PG-13 gifts.
Yeah, you had to know it was there and request it and type it in. And if you didn't type it in, you couldn't get to that database, and that was always on that 5 meg thing until it blew up.
Because I know when Butch was running it, they had, I guess, a couple of drives with the battery backup. Was it the MyArc 500? They were basically RAM chips.
Yeah, they were RAM drives.
RAM drives, yeah.
RAM drive. And, yeah, that, so many things that are, yeah, I remember the name, and then all of a sudden, the memory started to come back. I'm almost 80 years old, and I can't remember every damn thing.
What do we got going here?
Okay, well, we ran, this is FunnelWeb's version of TI Writer, Funnel Writer. And what I did before was use their disk cataloging program to catalog what's on drive 1, and on disk 1 of FunnelWeb is a README file. So we're going to load this into their editor. Yeah, TI Writer, Funnel Writer, BA Writer.
There's about 20 different.
Yeah, a lot of people came up with upgrades. Okay, so this is the README file from on this disk. So if you can get to it, gee, this reads a lot like the Wikipedia article that we were looking at. And it tells you the idea of what funnel web is for.
Now, is the text editor built in when you get it, or is that something that you have to have yourself and self-load? I mean, what, in other words, what's included in that menu? Did you put all that stuff in there, or is that part
No,
of the
that's
package?
part of it. I'll
Okay.
show you the stuff that I put in. We have, all these on here were part of it. DM1000, DiskU, Archiver. Back in the day, with Archiver, we were on a single floppy drive, and the original one was single-sided floppy drive, so that was all in 90K.
And then you get the little thing where you clip on the other side, and then you flip it over.
Yeah.
And then, you know, sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't.
Yeah, see, Archiver's got its own colors, where I just, now that I entered the program itself, it went to the white on blue. Where Archiver compresses files, and then you can't really do anything with them until you, number two, extract them. But Archiver lets you catalog an ARC file, number 4 there, to see what programs you've got in that file.
See what you're looking at right now, Jim? Could you tell what's different versus from the TI?
As far as what?
They have proper lowercase.
Yes, they have descenders, right?
Yeah, it doesn't, in TI, it's just, their lowercase is just smaller capitals, right? So they must have redefined all the letter
Yeah.
set.
Back in the day, when we were
Actually-
sending programs at 300 baud, having an archived file or putting it on a disk and sending it through the mail was a really, really big deal. And I can't remember how many times I used Archiver to archive something. I supported, when I was the librarian, I was a cassette librarian as well. And
Cassettes?
cassette librarian, back in the day. That's how I started out in this group.
No reel-to-reel?
No, cassette. And there was a woman in
Phone
Minneapolis
cabinet,
who was
vacuum
running
column.
a bowling league. And I supported her with cassettes of different programs for that group. And there was even, there was a chain of motels out in California. I think the guy had 11 motels. He was running on his TI as a business. And we were helping him as well. Now that is long, that's more than 40 years ago, think about it.
I remember the cassettes very well. Should we give a shout out to Barry Boone as long as we're here?
Barry Boone wrote a lot of good stuff.
Barry's still around, by the way. I still see him on different sites.
Oh, cool.
Oh, yeah. And a lot of people are still around, not necessarily active in TI anymore, but they are on Facebook. What's his name? Gary, I see Richard Killer, Richard Bell sends me stuff all the time. And he's still active in the community, still owns Secure Electronics. You can still buy a brand new console in the box, brand new, never been used, from Richard Bell.
How much do those go for?
I don't know, you'd have to ask. He has a BBS too, by the way.
Well, people are starting to reach out to us. I mean, believe it or not, I got an email from an Anders Pearson. I hope I pronounced your name right if you're listening. He's in Sweden,
Yeah,
and he is phenomenal with the P system with Pascal. And he's going to be writing a number of articles for our newsletter over the next several months about using the P system, which I'm also told that you could use it in, was it Classic 99? You can, and so it's interesting that we got a couple other people are reaching out to us.
Mike Maxim was the big Pascal guy for a while. And I'm trying to get him to come back to the fair. He lives out in Plainfield now. His mother has not been well.
I'm sorry to hear that.
He's 6'8", shaved his head, got a big beard, always wears black, drives a big Harley, and they call him the Undertaker.
He's in WWF Wrestling, The Undertaker? And
No,
I've seen that guy on TV.
He's a scuba diver.
Okay.
And he likes to go scuba diving under the ice in the quarry way down south.
That sounds like fun.
And has invited me a number of times, and I have never, ever, ever done that, and never, ever, ever will.
Mike, if you're listening, we'd like to see you at the fair or at one of the meetings.
Yeah, Mike, come and at least come sailing with me. You can check out the bottom of my boat and see if.
Get the barnacles off of it,
Yeah,
right?
Well, fortunately, I don't have any barnacles, but seaweed. lots of
Seaweed.
There are mussels, gobies, and the other mussels.
Vic, you'll be done demonstrating this in about 6 hours.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean,
I love this where we have the,
funnel
enough
web,
people,
I always
yeah.
got the impression that that could be a whole series of instruction.
yes. Well, the whole idea of funnel web is it's an operating environment, presumably for programmers or assembly programmers, where you've got everything under the hood. Now, what we did just recently here is, sorry, come on, Brett.
Somebody,
look at it in there.
somebody from Germany is saying hello.
Germany?
Is that Gert?
It's, Vidovids? Widow.
Willie,
Willie
Willie?
Gulch?
yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
he's been real active as of late with the group.
We
Yeah,
demonstrated his stuff a couple months ago.
so, hello from the US to Germany.
Hello, Germany. Willie.
It's late there.
Guten
Isn't it like
Abend.
7 hours ahead?
Guten Abend.
8 hours?
I don't know if you noticed, but here if we select Archiver from Funnel Web,
Okay.
we get the intro screen, then we get Archiver. Option 0 there at the bottom, this is a version of Archiver that's designed to go back into Funnel Web. So now we're back into Funnel Web. We didn't have to break into Extended Basic, the color bar screen Extended Basic. It reloaded, it knows enough to go back to it. Here's your configuration program. This is where I got all messed up and I had to get that Spider's Guide to Funnel Web. So it starts out here, system information. First you gotta load the sysinfo file, so I'll press L. Where is it? Oh, the sysinfo
Speaking
file
of
is
which.
called syscon. And Lucas the Spider has his own channel on YouTube.
His name's Lucas?
Lucas.
Lucas, all
He's a
right.
juvenile jumping spider. He's not a funnel web spider, but
Where can we buy one of those there, Vic?
Temu, the Chinese giant that sells everything.
Hell shaking his head.
Yeah, this is actually an official Lucas the Spider.
Lucas, oh, you're not kidding. I thought you named him.
No, no,
Lucas the spider.
that's the creature's name.
So if you buy this funnelware, you get a spider?
No. I had to have a mascot for it.
I generally don't have to buy anything to get spiders.
Ask me
I just
for
have to
my
move
T-Moose
something in the
story.
basement.
Okay, load this one. Okay, now we've loaded the syscon file, now we'll edit it. And you can do your loading, your devices, your colors, your menu, your extended basic list, or your utility list. This is where I got into a lot of problems here, because I was trying to do colors. So here's your color options. When you press the 0 key, these are the colors it scrolls through. And right now, we are in color code 17.
Is that foreground, background?
Yeah, yeah. So if you press view, it tells you, oh, okay, that's what that color looks like. If you press N for next and view, okay, that's what F0 looks like. N for next, you got white on green. N for next, C1, you got green on black. That was what this funnel web for CF7 originally came with, was this color. Let's go back. N for next, FD, you've got your white on pink. IE, black on white. Ah, there we go. All right, what you have to do is you can't select the color from this list, you actually have to edit this list. So what I found is we edit this to what, F4? Edit. Oh, here, it tells you what they are,
Okay.
when you actually go to edit it. So I want this to be F4.
Magenta? I don't remember seeing that color.
Yeah, that's one of the 16 colors.
Okay, and I go to down to F4 and I can edit that, and what was that again, that 1.7? And we can go, you can't go back here, because N is the next on the list, back is actually takes you up one. So we'll go function 9 to go back, and then we're going to want to function 9 again, press S to save. We want to save this now that we've edited it. And then install. Okay, we want to install this on the load program on the disk and the FW program on this list. So I'll press L, enter the file name device. And where do you want, notice at the bottom of the screen it says enter target file name is load. And why does it ask you twice? It's for this, because they only give you one chance to load this FW and save it as FW, and then load it as FW and save it as, because as you know, Editor Assembler automatically looks for a util1 program if you don't type in a program name.
Vic, is this big manual included with it in printable
No,
format?
it's not.
Because okay.
Okay, so now I can go back, and I can go Q to quit, and it'll let me quit. If I didn't save to those 3 programs, it would have said, you didn't save to those,
Right.
and it would give me a hard time about it. So we're going to quit Funnel Web, and we're going to load the Super Extended Basic. Regular Extended Basic works fine. And there you go. Now you've got the familiar white and blue screen that we're used to.
Very nice.
It looked like we might have had the familiar white and purple screen, unless
For Easter.
for Easter. yeah.
So here's,
End result is
we could've
never
done-
change your color again.
yeah,
This is why I never used Funnel because I used TI Writer, did a lot of writing over the years, commercially, using the TI Writer, and everything else beyond that just got so damn convoluted and so complex. And I'm a really simple, multitasker. I'm a sequential kind of guy. And, it seemed a little bit too complex for me, and nobody ever could explain it all to me.
that's why I bought those 2 books.
Yeah.
On page like 3 and 4, they show you all the files that come with Funnel Web.
Since this was from,
That's for
who's our
file
user
0
group?
with the 80 column.
Is that what
Yeah,
that's
those
what
are
it
usually good.
out? Who's our users group? It's a nice manual.
Yeah.
Is this online anywhere, or is it still?
I don't know. I bought that way back when because I got baffled by Funnel
Well,
Web.
Vic, you would think that someone who was properly demonstrating a program would know the answers to this.
Oh, yeah, yeah. But this is a TI meeting.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
Can you show these?
Yeah,
Okay, so this is Disk Review 40. And I
Okay.
saw this originally at the Elk Grove Village Holiday Inn during one of our big fairs, and I was just blown away at this kind of a disk manager. Everything is on the screen there. What drive do you want to catalog? So drive 1, okay. We'll press 1. Okay, here's our familiar Funnel Web. Now in the upper left corner there, you have control and function E and X to scroll up and down. So if I press function and X, I can go down, I can go up. The old name, Control tags the file, Control T tags it, Control U untags it, Control A is action, like copy, delete, print. You can print the directory, down in the second half of this, tab on the left. Files, Control and V to view, so if I press Control here and V, okay, now we can see that. You press the space bar to pause it, as long as you're holding it down, it won't scroll, but it automatically scrolls. Again, this is very similar to what is on that Wikipedia article. We go function 9 to go back. On the left bar again, you've got F to rename, FR, rename, FC, copy, RP, run program, I to inspect. Your lower left corner, how many sectors have you used? That looks weird, but remember, we're using a compact flash card and they cheat. So we don't have problems with double-sided, double density, quad density, or anything. It's its own critter when it comes to the size of the disk files on a compact flash nano PEB. In the lower right corner, you got your work file, disk 3. I think this is for assembly programming, OF, print file, and what it is, Funnel Web 440. So yeah, so this disk manager is pretty powerful. Now I did a control equal to get out of there. Go back to the text editor. We did this, no, I don't want lines. What was it? Oh, no, we don't need to do this either. If we do SD from the funnel writer, here, it'll show you what disk do you want.
I was just
One?
about to ask that if you could load it from disk.
Yeah, there you go. So here's your disk manager or your file loader from
So
funnel
you just
writer.
move your mouse over to what you want to load and double click?
Well, yeah, you move the cursor. Here, let's leave it on README, and these commands must be in the lower corner there. It didn't pick it up, or I don't know how to do it.
Oh, like, okay, I understand that.
Okay, so now it's loading the load file again. For people not familiar with TI Writer, you are seeing 30 columns of a 80-column screen. There we go. And it's compressed it all already. Okay, not really the demonstration I wanted to do. Wanted to show how you could window around on the screen. But text editor format, disk utilities. Yeah, disk review 40, disk U. You can sector edit with this if you want to, with John Bird, late John Birdwell's disk utilities disk.
I could do so much damage with that.
Here's sector utilities, edit sector. Let's go to drive 2. Let's go to sector 0. Okay, so now you're in hexadecimal sector editing, the very first sector on drive number 2. But with this, you can press Control A, and it goes into ASCII. Control H
Oh, that looks
goes
familiar.
into hexadecimal. Control N, now we're in sector number 0001, which is actually the second sector. Again, Control A, nothing user readable.
What are those?
Tunnels of
Death
Doom,
TOD,
Oh,
City TOD,
City of Doom.
death instructions, and this is all the standard stuff to where you've got the first few clusters here are the name of the program, and then you have the start sector, the end sector, and sector editing is its own critter.
I started wearing glasses after doing that editor because of that.
Oh, yeah.
Hundreds of hours looking at
Hex code.
hex code to try to
Yeah.
decipher the cartridge.
Yeah.
What are they doing?
Well, plus TI is a jerk when it comes to where the actual sector is on the start and end of a program, because they switch the numbers around,
I know.
and it's baffling. But notice again, here's another program, option 7. Gets it back into funnel web. Tell it where it's at. Now we're back in the funnel web. So we got the title
There
screen.
was 2 parts of funnel web you were going to demonstrate. Are we merging them both together?
Okay, I don't have a user list on this particular one. Nope.
Oh, that's small text. That looks, that's very readable. Is that 40 column probably? Or just very small letters?
It's probably,
Yeah, now we're in a
That's 40
program
column.
editor with, here again. Now exit this editor. Assembler loaders go to XP, remind me. Text editor formatter, disk utilities. Archiver, config the M1000, 8 user list. No, I don't have a user list. I can swear I saw one,
This
I
thing is
hear
really
earlier.
powerful. You could probably get college credit for this.
yeah.
35 years ago, this was magic, absolute magic.
Oh, yeah.
Uh,
Here we go. It was on the second screen. This is what I actually managed to edit.
Mm-hmm.
Now you can have I think 8 screens like this on a user list, U1, U2, U3. You can have 8 screens. So we got TI Writer, Editor, Assembler, go back to XP. 4 is a very handy program, Identifile. Now I cheated. This is not on disk 1, this is on my personal utilities disk, disk 3. So here's Identifile, and you can catalog a disk, and we can catalog the funnel web disk. You use the function X, function E to go down and up. Press enter, it scans it. All right, this screen, I never noticed it. When I had the TIM, the 80 column device, this boxed area automatically went to 80 column, to where it goes README 58, DV 80, and the word text that's underneath the word read was actually off to the right. And this doesn't do it. I think I don't know if there's a patch for this or not. But anyway, we can do the function X, and README is a DV80 text file, 03/2024 DV80. It's a remind me file. And then you have AR, that's our old buddy archiver. I mean, editor or assembler goes ARASAT for a 3-section file. So Identifile is really good for telling you what you got, if it's an EA program, an extended basic program, a TI artist picture, whatever.
right, and for
Anyway,
new users, this is sort of magic, because that's often a problem. It's like, okay, I've got this program, what do I need to actually run it?
yeah, you have to know too much about a TI to actually run and load and run programs off of disks, because is this extended basic? Is this?
It's like, which cartridge do I
yeah.
need? Do I need 32K?
Oh, it's logo. Okay. It's a logo.
Bruce
program.
Harrison wrote a kind of the one that I used a lot, instead of Identifile. I'm trying to think of the name of it. but we demoed it one time, and I preferred it to this one. It gave you a little bit more information, and I can't know if I can remember the name. The old gray cells. Not what they used to be.
Okay, so if we run DM1000, we'll go to disk 3, which is all my utility programs. So I'll copy boot to disk number 2, and then we're going to quit. Okay, this is the final ground menu, the cartridge emulator. We're going to go to C, Editor Assembler. Okay, this is a program called Boot, and it's a very comprehensive program loader. And this has already been set up for loading programs off of disk 3, which is my utilities program. But we're going to modify it. I'll show you how to do that. But first we'll do show a directory, and we'll ask for a directory on disk 2. And here's the program files on disk 2, 99/4A, spin, boot, and boot U, breakout, etc. We can run a program, or we can go back to Editor Assembler. That's not the version of boot I wanted. The one I wanted, I got it, it's listed here on volume 7, but it doesn't say where it's at. By pressing function 5, you get this screen. And the first line here, you type in the program you want. And the second line, you print the disk number it's located at and the actual program name. So you've got Archiver 4.0A is Arc40A. The Compact Flash Manager, CF Manager, DM1000, MGR1. Disk U is on disk 3, DSKU. DM2000, DM2K. And identifile is on disk 3 ID. Now by pressing the space bar, there's 3 screens of these. Here's screen number 2, here's screen number 3 with nothing on it. So here's screen number 2, we can do a function 5. It goes, oh, that'll run our meeting marquee. 2, one of my favorite astronomy programs, Skyscape, that shows you the day's sky. But if we do this one, and do a function 5, now we can edit it. And I just happened to write them down on 99.4A is the name of the first program on disk 2. Disk 2. 9/4A. Okay. And the second program is called Spin. The third program is called Breakout. There's no really need, these are all extended basic. 3 is city instructions, city TOD, death instructions, death TOD. Was that a pure Tunnels of Doom adventure?
No, the only one that ever came out was the one that came with the Pennies and Prizes was the demo, and Quest for the King was the only one that came out. All the other ones were made, either handmade by me or with the editor, that I know of. maybe something newer later with, I know they got emulated versions now,
Mm-hmm.
but, Death, what was Death? There was I can't remember. I know there was Volcano
Okay.
Fortress. and-
We can do a function on and go back. We're gonna save this to disk number 2.
Oh, City of Death. That's what it was. Sorry.
All right. And right now, I need to get you a extended basic environment. And so we're going to quit the Final GROM, reload it, go to our old friend, Rich Extended Basic. And this has its own directory, and it has its own load and run and program file. Nice thing about Rich Extended Basic is you can go from editor assembler to Extended Basic at will. But what I need is, excuse me here. I need to find the load program for boot. So it's on my volume utilities, it's on 6, and it's gonna be a program called boot, and I wrote down everything here except where it's at.
Wasn't it number 7? I saw boot number 7.
Yes, you did. That is this version of it that only has boot on it, it doesn't have the load boot
Oh,
program. I
okay.
moved it up to there. These all begin with B. This is the From Barry Harmson library, the letter B. So this is all just programs began with the letter B. And I think I stuck the boot.
There's another boot there.
Yeah, there's 2 more.
And
What there was?
Yeah.
And there was one up there that says boot in the middle of the screen. It was like 270 something, or there was one at 227.
Okay, let me write that down.
and 229.
Yeah,
Hey, Vic,
227, 229.
okay.
But they're the same,
Well, we can look at it here from the
Free.
Compact Flash Manager. We can catalog by pressing number 1, any volume. So if I put in 227, there's a disk directory. And that's what I wanted, was the load program
There you go.
of it. So we're going to move funnel web out.
This is all too Byzantine for Baroque like me.
Remove the virtual disk from drive 1, and drive 1 we'll put in,
I'm gonna suggest that the manual is almost mandatory.
Well, what Vic is doing is essentially unrelated to Funnelwood in that he's using Final GROM, and those are only commands they're useful for the Final
Oh,
GROM.
I see, okay.
So, to get back to where he wants to go, but
Got it.
he's got a bunch of layers here that go through.
yeah, so I'm going to go to K device, and we're going to press the space bar, go on page 2 of 2, and we're going to reload Super Extended Basic again.
Quotation marks and parentheses.
extra space between the parentheses. Just guessing, I have no idea.
Let's see. There we go.
Just making it up.
So that's what I liked about Super Extended Basic at the time it came out. That was one of the selling points. You could do, without too much work,
How did Super Extended Basic come out? Was it just a file you ran within regular
it
Extended
was
Basic?
a cartridge.
It was actually a cartridge,
Yeah,
huh?
yeah.
I'm showing my
I don't
ignorance.
think I've got the cartridge here. Sometimes I carry some stuff as a backup. No, I don't have the cartridge here.
You spent an awful lot of time preparing for this, very impressive.
We'll quit
He's the
that.
most organized guy I've ever met in my life.
Okay, so by pressing the 2 key and holding it down, Super Extended Basic just bypassed the automatic load program.
It's in drive 2, isn't
That's strange. It just cataloged it and said there was a load program there.
it? Were you in disc 2?
No, it was on disc 1.
Well, then we know it's an authentic TI demo.
Yes, yes.
If it works the very first time,
It's next month.
this is the picture that he asked me, and then the next thing I know.
I like the better
I'm on
picture.
I'm on the bridge of a ship. Looked like a giant ocean liner.
Okay, every once in a
Me in
while,
uniform and everything else.
When in
but too
doubt,
many
power
assembly
cycle.
programs, one after another. You just gotta cut from the console the 32K memory off.
Okay,
And you wonder why you can see Putin in a poop online. In a pink tutu or whatever.
Or on his.
it's all, if it's on the internet, it's real. It's
Yeah,
true.
that's true.
Okay,
yeah.
227 might be a corrupted disk.
Uh-oh.
What was the other one, 229?
Yeah. There we go. The Miami User Group mug of boot loading. So yeah, so it didn't take load very long to actually load up boot. Okay, so now that we're in this assembly program that was loaded from Extended Basic, and you see at the bottom there, there's Super Extended Basic. So now we can do the same thing. From boot, okay. We do function 5. And what do we do now? We put in the program name.
Time to stand up.
I thought we just did this.
Yeah, but it was on a different disk.
Oh.
We're running out of
Right,
time.
and this is a demonstration of
Well,
editable menu.
yeah, I always
disk
practice stuff
menus,
before I
right?
do it for real, yes.
Because the standard TI Basic didn't have any real catalog function, right?
Yes, it does.
What was the catalog command for console basic?
Call cat?
So we'll do back, and we'll save this to actually, to disk 2. Do that. Catalog. Oh. By pressing G, you can go to basic. See how you got the little subscript there?
Mhm.
Cartridge 3 basic, cartridge 3 super extended basic, cartridge 4
Now, is that
basic.
part of Funnelware, or is that part of that device you have?
This is boot. This is, boot is a EA program itself.
Okay,
Out
so
of
we're
Funnelware.
in a program that you ran from Funnelware.
Yeah.
Okay,
To answer your question, James, I just went through this. Here's a program called Catalog. And as you know, of course you can access a disk.
well, you're
Basic.
accessing you're running a
That's
program that's
not what
doing
I'm
it.
saying.
Is there a
Many other
program,
basics
a
had-
call catalog
for basic.
Right, so many other basic implementations at a high-level command
Mhm.
to display the catalog on a disk. I thought the standard console basic does not have that
No, it
function.
doesn't.
I don't think TI Extended Basic has
There's
either.
this,
Super might, but I never used that.
yeah, super, that was one reason to get super extended basic. So what was this,
Which is why you
35
needed a menu
lines?
program
Yeah.
or some type of catalog utility like in Disk
Yeah.
Manager.
So this program called Catalog could run in BASIC. And it can catalog a floppy, and you can put that on a disk, so even from BASIC.
Right, so it's a
you
menu
can
and a
catalog.
cataloger, right?
So let's run it. We're in BASIC only right now. We'll catalog drive number 2. And there's a dozen of these disk catalogers. I think actually TI had one
I'm sure.
that was just about like
Those all
this.
look familiar.
Wonder why. Okay. So, okay, we'll exit out of this.
Rick, we're approaching bonus time.
Yeah, we should probably announce that we'll be running a little bit longer today because John has surreptitiously gotten us an extra 30 minutes. And I don't know if it's official, but we have the extra 30 minutes. So.
You may want
We had a
to
little
check
time
at
in
front
the
desk
beginning
just to
and now
make
we have a
sure
little time at
that
the end.
you
and
know
It works out very
I
nicely.
looked.
We used to be
I
able
looked back
to get
at the
3
photos.
hours at a
There was
time.
no checking.
And then it
I
comes
will
back
ask
to 2 hours. Cut everybody
Yeah,
off.
but the problem is,
Okay.
a lot of times,
So-
they expect you to check
So
at
now
the front desk to
we
let
got
you into the
3:30?
room.
Yeah, we have to.
And if you don't do that, they may assume you are
Absent.
non-present.
Okay, I'll ask him on the way out.
And then kick
And
out.
maybe even beyond that, because there might not be anybody after that. So if, I'll go out a little after 3 and ask if someone's coming in after us at 3:30. If no one's coming in, then there's no hurry to break down.
As of this morning, it was open.
Okay,
Well,
well,
you never know.
yeah, somebody can come up at any moment and say, I'd like to have a conference.
Right,
room.
as I said, if they don't think you're here and haven't taken possession of your reservation.
I will go
and
ask.
someone
But
at
I'm
You're
the
saying
right.
for
You're right.
when everybody seems to be on vacation and shouldn't be a problem.
Spring break,
There have been times when we have been kicked out of here, people standing, tapping on the door saying.
And it's a
"Time is
relative-
up."
Well, if we put the chairs up against the door, they won't be able to get in.
True, but we won't be able to get in next month if we do. That's our
Not if we keep somebody in here at all
they may
times.
have,
That's
they may
true.
have to, they may have
Bring in a
to
hell of a lot of food and
alert
water
the proper
and,
authorities to ask us to leave.
And little blue buckets, because everybody gets nasty.
Vic, this is one heck of a demonstration. I don't know how much time you must have put in to prepare for this, but it's very impressive.
Past few decades.
Decades, decades,
Using this.
yes.
So you can see by using boot in the task of a few minutes, I've managed to take that catalog listing and make where I can, if I got the extended basic in there, well, of course, I needed it to load this program.
Mhm.
I have XB in there. Now I've got a menu where I can just press a key and run these. So let's try missile, was it missile command, missile control?
You got missile control.
Can't call it missile
For
command.
years, I've been wondering when Vic actually sleeps.
I mean,
I've seen him eat, so I know he eats, and, but I
If
don't
he eats,
know
he
when
probably does
sleeps.
the other thing too, right?
Yes.
And everything, by the way, is written down. This isn't just, he's not flying by the seat of his pants. He writes down all of the catalogs of all of the discs, the 2,000 and 3,000 discs. Every single thing is listed. He's got everything documented. Like I said, it's been 30 years of doing it.
well, you know.
Okay, we're having trouble again.
But that doesn't mean.
This
it's
thing's either
important.
getting hot or,
Well, maybe Vic, it's time to move on to the next.
oh,
Bring out the liquid nitrogen.
You be the boss, though.
yeah, it's, I must have like 1,000 cartridges on here too. We ran, what was that, Inufudo?
Because it was overheating last month, I thought.
Yeah.
You said it was overheating.
I've left this thing on for a week and not had any problem.
Well, I mean, I think it only heats up when it's accessed, right? Or-
Oh, yeah, Willie Grolsch, and the Atlantis game, I had forgotten about that.
Is that the iMagic Atlantis game?
Yes, it
The
is.
TI port of the Atlantis, yeah, it certainly is.
One of these probably runs it.
I bought a cartridge that had one that was one of Magic.
Is it this
Demon
one?
Attack, I think
Yeah.
it was called.
Yep. Demon Attack was their big hit.
In their heyday was that
Demon Attack tough.
they only could have like one on the screen at a time, but it was like multiple colors, something that you didn't see in the TI very often.
Okay, so you move the joystick left, you fire with the left one, you move it to the right, you fire with the right one, you've only got so many shots.
It's their sea battle in the Atari VCS.
Here, James, I'm once at this. Well, you want the bigger
I'm sure I'm
joystick?
not gonna be that
You
much
want the
better.
bigger controller?
Doesn't matter, I like the slick stick, it's fine.
Okay, because the TAC-2 is pretty similar.
There goes my,
Yeah, so this is Atlantis.
Vic, we need a light gun.
Yeah.
You're down to one cannon now, I think.
yeah, I see that, because I wasn't paying
I
attention.
think Atlantis is gonna disappear into the sea here in a second.
well.
That's it,
Jim, you let us all down.
yep.
Do you
No, I
feel
let-
shame?
No, I let the
Yeah, 'cause
Atlantis.
there was
the
Atlantis, there was
Atlanteans down.
Frankenstein, Robin Hood, and the very similar gameplay Hunchback.
Hunchback.
Running and jumping, and you got a castle walls, and you got the spearmen that like to poke you as you're trying to jump over the pits. That they're
What's this written in? Is this a cartridge, or is this extended basic, or what is this?
This is a DSK file.
I could hit the one.
Not DSK file, this is a BIN file, running in a cartridge environment using the final ground.
Yeah, because it seems to be a little faster than extended basic, but not by much.
Well, for the guy who ported this, it was quite a feather in his cap to be able to do that. They had articles on Facebook on one of the TI user group pages.
Oh, no.
Uh-oh, here they come.
What's the delay on the fire?
This one guy invented machine guns.
Does it fire right away, John? or does
Not
it-
quite.
it's like a
Yeah,
little-
so
Keep
many
firing
of
and
these
eventually
games,
you're gonna hit
That's what I think.
something.
so many of these games, the programming is you're only allowed one bullet on the
Right,
screen.
I think
at
it
a
had,
time.
this is
Okay,
two.
I figured there
For
was something to it.
Atari, somebody came out with a 555 timer and an adapter, it was 9 pin on each end, and it plugged into your Atari in between the joystick and the Atari, and you had a little rotary control on top, so you could adjust it on how fast it fired.
Fire, yeah.
So now we're in the Atari portion of the meeting?
Yeah, it's all good. Somebody asked me a couple years ago to try to find that so we could duplicate it, and it's buried. But I remember when I bought that, and I thought, oh, this would be great for Space Invaders or TI Invaders, and I found out, no, you're only allowed one
That's kind of cool. It
bullet
does a
or
laser
missile on the
beam.
screen at a time.
There's only one city left, Jim.
Oh, well.
No
It took
pressure.
me 25 years to find out.
No cities left.
You can
That's
slow
good.
down car wars.
It's
Excellent,
weird.
very nice.
I bought
It's
car wars.
supposed to be in Marines,
and
like
you never get-
like
yeah, you
history
never get around
movie.
more than one time.
Meant it to be.
25 years later, I hadn't played it in years.
There's a pattern for that, you know.
Yeah, Vic showed me, he said, oh yeah, all you do is press such and such, and it slows right down. And
Yeah.
now you can actually go from lane to lane and not crash
Well, you
on
gotta-
the very first time.
If you were going slow when you wanted to change lanes, you did one
Oh,
lane.
here it
If you were
is.
going fast, you changed 2 lanes.
Yeah, something, I don't
Yeah.
know what it was, I haven't played it in years,
Yeah,
but
before we forget.
Zero Zap is the
Hmm.
only game I ever played, because all you do is, instead of one time, you press a button and it does all the rest of it for you.
Hell.
Before we forget the hell, laptop,
What's that?
Laptop.
your laptop.
Oh, you like my laptop? Oh, sure.
Yeah, he wants to keep it.
Oh. Would you like?
No, before we forget, and then it becomes
Oh,
an
well,
issue.
You might wanna plug it in, I don't know,
Any juice, special juice?
and just for
I
you,
don't need the
since,
mouse.
you know, I always use the, what do you call it? Scratch pad or whatever.
Trackpad.
But you need the mouse.
I don't need the mouse, I just need power.
Some of these titles might seem a little confusing, but this is actually maintaining where I downloaded these from. So some of these files should actually be located in different spots. There we go.
Oh, there's your favorite. There you go.
Now you notice how the computer car, the red car, speeds up. And your idea is to try to stay half a tooth out of alignment with them, so he doesn't have a head-on collision with you.
So which one are you? Are you yellow?
Yeah, you're yellow and the computer car is red. And, oh yeah,
Now
the
you're a
pieces
mix of both.
fly real good.
Because I remember in the original Dodge, the computer guy was trying to crash into you.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
I don't see that here.
Oh,
that's
yeah.
the red car.
Yeah, but the red car's avoiding you sometimes.
Well, here, we'll actually
I think you're
press
the
the
yellow
key and
car.
try running
I
it.
think
Okay.
Oh, that was just
So,
a demo?
how fast do I want to go? I want to go slow, and I don't want the computer car to speed up until late. Okay, now
Does Hal want to play?
No,
so when you get to an intersection there, you got to move the joystick in the correct direction to change lanes. The idea is to always change lanes, so even if the computer car changes lanes, you can't have a head-on with you.
Well, I was saying, if I remember correctly, if you're going slow and you change lanes, you could change 2 lanes. If you're
Yeah,
going fast, it's only 1.
yeah, so here,
oh, yeah, that's good.
That's how Hal played?
Yeah,
yeah.
that's right. It knows how
Okay, it's the other controller. Apparently, because that
Oh,
didn't.
I thought it was operator error.
Yeah.
to, somehow he racked up 680 points doing that. Huh?
It's the dots, I think. Are you sure you're not the colored
Well, it's
one?
not running any of the,
Vic, I kind of think
This
that
is
you're not, the
exactly
yellow
way
car
I
is the
ran
computer.
away. Exactly.
okay.
Because he's,
Whichever one it's
the
driving.
red one's eating the dots.
Oh, okay.
So you're the red guy.
Okay, so here,
There you go, two lanes. So that's what I thought, because I was like, now if you go fast, you can only change 1 lane. You're doing pretty good.
You could boost your speed, that's cool.
Uh-oh.
I blew it up real good. But anyway, that's it when I'm not articulating, because it's hard to try to talk and play
I
the game
wonder
at
if
the
TI,
same time.
you think TI got a license from them? Because these are like blatant copies. You know, Munchman. and-
Yeah, I know.
If I press the fire button, I can speed up my guy. And the idea is if you get off half a lane, see, he'll always move.
He's trying to crash into you.
Yeah, he's trying to crash into you. So I can press down, every time you see the red car speed up, I'm pressing the fire button.
Right.
It only took me about half a year to learn that.
He's a lot faster than I was.
As I was like.
What's your high score, Hal?
About 3. I think I was that good once.
But this is your all-time favorite game, right?
No. Zero Zap. Zero Zap is my whole time.
Zero Step. I don't know what that is.
You just move the joystick and move
So
it over
I
like
became a
that.
master
That's gone.
at how to change lanes and avoid this guy, but I didn't have any defense after you eat up so many dots.
There's patterns to this. I've seen them before where the guys know exactly where to go.
Yeah,
You know, like Pac-Man.
Like
So-
cheating plan?
No, it's just there's a certain pattern that you can do.
Do you
You get
have
used to it.
zero
Left, right,
Zap
left,
anymore?
up, down.
yeah, that's
Oh,
all.
if you
guys
find
who
zero
broke
Zap,
Donkey
we'll
Kong.
Yeah.
totally zero
Oh,
Zap.
yeah.
Now, Vic's gonna demo Zero Zap.
Zero Zap?
Zero Zap. This is my favorite game.
Well, then Hal should demo it.
I'll show you
It's
why.
under, I think, N, games N to Z.
Zero Zap. This is
And I
bonus hours, gentlemen. This is extra.
Oh, well, let's.
And
use
ladies?
it- Let's use it to the absolute best advantage and play Zero Zap.
Zero Zap.
And then at the end of the show, Jim will tell us what he's doing with my computer. I have no idea, but I trust him.
I was going to ask, actually.
Oh, by the way, for anybody listening, the March or the April edition of the newsletter is now available on the webpage. So you can download to your heart's content.
Unless your name is John Van Horn.
Unless you show up here, then you get a real one. A collectible issue. Limited edition.
And if you ask politely, he'll even autograph it for you.
Yeah.
So that your great-grandchildren can
And,
put this on eBay or whatever.
I won't go
eBay
in
is
front of
calling
this, but
those days.
the front page, don't get mad at me.
Oh, there it is, zeros out.
Aha, at the very end, naturally, well, that's,
You ready,
There you go,
Hal?
Hal.
Come on, Hal.
You're in the hot seat.
Come on, you're doing it, Hal. Come on, Hal.
I think I can handle it.
All right,
Which-
zero zip.
which-
Here we
which
go.
is up- oh,
I think like that.
Okay, here we go.
Oh, this
Push
is-
any key to play. I'm pushing a key and it's not playing. And then I press that.
I think on the
They're going.
keyboard.
It's like a pinball machine.
See, this is why I like it.
That's a pinball machine.
Watch, Mom.
What the people at home
In no
cannot
time,
see.
my hands
Where's the
never leave my
flippers?
arms.
I remember this. Oh, you didn't do the flippers.
This is the best game that ever was.
I think it's doing a demonstration, actually.
You know what this reminds me of? Has anybody played a game called Peggle?
No.
It's a game that's obviously for
See, you don't even have to.
modern computers where you just shoot the ball up
I can
and
sit
you try to
all
watch
day
the
long
ball.
and watch this. And sometimes I did.
You could take a nap.
Yeah.
Wake up.
And the neat thing is you can change these blocks around so that once you get it in there, it can't get out again. And, you know, that it'll go forever. You can remove the zeros, I think, if you can, because that's the only thing that'll ever stop it.
Yeah.
You can push all these blocks so that you basically have one little tiny opening, and it'll never find it open again. Now, having a zero in there, is
Uh-oh.
when you get zapped. But the rest of the time, and of course, I like to change the music a little, but,
So this was your thing, huh?
this was my thing, I could turn, I never had to touch anything, it was wonderful. Until they started loading me up with zeros. And I'm playing against myself here, and I won. One of the
Sounds
few-
very familiar to Blasco.
Yeah, one of the few times I ever won anything, because I was playing both sides, I loved it.
You got a computer at home, Hal?
No, it's here at the
Yeah, I do.
library.
Or
I
you
got
got a
about
library?
30 of them.
Yeah, like I said, check out a game called Peggle, and I think it's right up your alley.
What's it called?
Peggle.
Peggle?
Very popular. There's a whole bunch of little, like this on the screen,
Yeah.
and all you do is point it and hit go, and the marble drops.
Oh.
And you have to knock out all the orange marbles or something before it hits the bottom.
Oh,
That's right up your alley.
That sounds a little complex for me.
You just hit, you point it and shoot, that's all you do, and that's it.
I'm a utility guy.
Utility guy?
Yeah, that's it.
Okay, that might be a little
T.I.
too,
Ryder and all of his clones, yeah.
that just might be the game I do for the fair, since you volunteered me.
Yeah, well, something like that. And about this time of the show, I normally talk about the fair, now that we've mentioned it.
Do we still have the fair, Hal?
Oh, do we ever? At the 43rd or 42nd or one of those. And it's gonna be October the 26th, right here in beautiful downtown Evanston, Illinois, USA. So, if you're not doing anything, or even if you are doing something, mark your calendar for that date and come at least on the Friday when we all get together for dinner. And then we have the fair, which goes from 9 o'clock until about 4 o'clock in the afternoon. And then we go and have a banquet and do awards presentations, give away,
Hal, what happens on Friday? If they show up on Friday, what do they do?
they give me a call. My number will be available a little later on. I don't put it up
Will
on
you
the
come
screen.
and give
right
a form
away.
for them?
But all those
Can I give
people
you a call?
who already know about it can give me a call or can look on our website, our wonderful new website, and they will then be notified where we're going to meet for dinner that night.
So
We
there's a
get
dinner
together-
on Friday.
There's a dinner on Friday.
Okay.
We get together, we eat at a restaurant, everybody orders off the menu. I don't have to worry about.
And it's all on you, right? You pick up the tab?
Oh, I might pick up a pencil.
I think the term is going Dutch.
Going
At any
Dutch.
rate, Then, after the fair, and after the banquet, we have the infamous pub crawl,
Saturday.
Saturday.
Yeah, next
The
day.
infamous pub crawl, where we go around and visit some of the local watering holes, depending upon the weather.
Was there an award ceremony before that or something?
Yeah, the banquet,
Okay,
at the
okay, the banquet,
banquet.
because so there's
At
the
the
fair,
banquet.
then the banquet, then the pub crawl.
That's right.
Oh, boy.
And then,
it's
for those
pre-fair,
survivors,
fair,
there's a breakfast on the,
banquet, awards.
the Sunday. We used to be at Burger King. Burger King has been destroyed, and there's now an 8-story building there. So we'll find someplace else that is.
So we're gonna knock on someone's door.
Knock on doors and someone opens the door?
And then they'll make us dinner.
Well, we'll figure it out between now and.
It'll be on the webpage,
Yeah,
right?
it'll be on the webpage. Everything will be on the webpage. It'll be in the newsletter undoubtedly, in the webpage. And we hope to see everybody here. More people are gonna come this year than have come in the last couple of years. COVID is over. Come on back to town. You don't need to worry about coming into the country. The borders are open. If you're coming in through Texas, be sure to wear your hip waders. But so far, as far as we can tell.
Hell, if they survive the pub crawl and they make it through the whole pub crawl, is there anything else going on the next day?
Yes, there is. The breakfast is, as I said, for
Otherwise known as
survivors.
the
Survivor's breakfast?
Survivors breakfast on the Sundays.
How many people usually make that? Is that like a challenge?
Well, usually it was Barry Harmson and Walid Malouli.
It's usually the
And-
people that weren't drinking as heavily and are staying
It's
in the
everybody
downtown.
else.
Yeah, if you're
area.
staying in town, if you're at the hotel, sometimes you can stagger over to the Burger King. I rarely made them, I made one, basically because I hadn't been to bed that night.
That helps.
And what's his name from Indianapolis, I think slept in the Burger King one night, so he was there.
Is that really Jim, what's his name?
What's, you know who I'm talking about? What's his name? I can't remember his name. I can't remember my own name, so it's no slight. It is, at any rate, it's a good time. A lot of people come in from overseas and stay the whole week. We take them all over the place. We have a good time. My liver takes about 3 months to recover. But Barry and I think between us, probably put away about 30 or 40 gallons of beer. That's just for 1 year. Other years, we didn't drink quite as much.
O'Doul's?
Yeah, what's
No.
your beer of choice?
Unfortunately, it killed Barry, and it put me into AFib, and so I'm not drinking like that anymore.
Okay.
I'm not drinking at all that way anymore.
What is your beer of choice?
My beer of choice?
Or was your beer of choice?
Well, there's a beer now in the Czech Republic called Budweiser. It's the original Budweiser from the town of Budvar. And when Anheuser-Busch went to try and buy that brewery, they said no. And that's why Budweiser, as a beer, American Budweiser, cannot be sold in Europe. You can't sell it in Europe except on an army base. And the reason for that is that the name Budweiser is protected.
So how do you get a Budweiser here in the States?
Well, I don't know that there's enough of it to export.
Okay, so
It's
next question is, what is your second favorite beer that you can get here?
Probably Beck's.
Beck's, okay, there we go.
Beck's.
Beck's, ladies and gentlemen, we have an answer.
In Berlin,
Is that
we
our
always drank
sponsor?
Schulteis, which is a
Sponsored,
local beer.
sponsored by Beck's.
Is that related to Schultz? Schlitz?
Schulteis,
Okay.
and Schulteis means the person who was responsible for something, and their emblem was a big fellow, looked like John, and wore the chain of the mayor of the city,
Uh-huh.
and the old middle-aged hat and all. There was, I don't know if I can get into this now. This is, after all, a family show.
PG-13.
But when I was doing publicity for the German-American Folksfest, I met this fellow, and he had 2 large bodyguards, I thought. And the 2 large bodyguards, the president of the brewery told me, were mandatory not to protect him from autograph hounds, but to protect the children from him. This was, this was back in the days before, that sort of thing would get you kicked out of the football league or, et cetera, et cetera. So, at any rate, the story may be apocryphal, but that's what I was told by the man in charge of the brewery, so,
Interesting.
at any rate. What do I know? What do I know indeed? What am I doing?
You're up to date.
I'm doing what?
You are up to date.
I'm up to date. Oh, terrific. Thank you.
Ignore the new version message that it'll give you on occasion. You still got about a year of extended support on that version, so we'll
I see.
figure it out
Okay.
about this time next year.
And now at the end of the meeting, if we have a moment, I would like you to show me how to download the 155 copies of the newspaper, magazine that just went out of business with my 3-year subscription fully paid. It's been that kind of a week.
Which magazine
It's
is
the-
that?
Good old boat.
How many people can grift Hal this month, right?
Yeah, between the AFib and the mask and the new roof and all the rest of that, it's been a hell of a week. Anyway.
I also saw, Brad heard, Evanston's approved stadium.
Well, they've torn down half of what was Dyke Stadium, became Ryan Field. They're trying to tear down the other half, and now they also want to play the games for only 15,000 people at the lakefront where the lacrosse stadium is, where the old observatory used to be, the one that they tried to blow up. You know, it fell halfway down, they had to pull down. That long story. If you live around here, you know about that stuff.
We're good, guys.
You probably don't want.
We've got bonus time.
Bonus time. Oh, this is good.
She says she'll let us know if anybody comes in, but it's all ours.
All right, then we're in good shape.
I just had to say your name, and she says, well,
She said, that's
Just keep them
okay.
away from
He
me.
wants more. That's it.
and we don't have to check in. The only time we have to check in, they say, is if the door's
No,
locked.
only,
Okay.
if only.
But
if
that was
only. There is, actually. I actually found what I'm looking for, when I'm looking for, and not the next day. So that's incredible. I'm on a roll, boys and girls. Now, if I can figure out where to plug this thing in.
Any more questions, question master there?
No,
No?
I think Jim has, you could see that too,
Oh,
right?
Jim's got the.
Oh, you're not online?
Is that a USB port?
I'll check.
I think it is.
What are we asking?
If there's any comments from the
No,
No, just the same old.
yeah.
laser, left, right, thruster, fire laser, repair droid. This looks like a game.
Mhm.
I knew this would be too hard.
I gotta, if I ask a question, it's not gonna interrupt you, right?
No.
Way back when, and I'm dating myself, there was only certain types of printers that would connect to the TI because through the parallel port expansion or something.
Yep.
How do people print today from the TI? You have to have an adapter, or you gotta,
PIO. You need the printer cable. You need the printer cable, and believe it or not. you
because all the new printers
Don't have
are US.
Centronics parallel anymore.
Right. They don't
Well,
have,
it has to have a parallel printer port.
well, the new
Or
printers don't.
a serial, you can also print a serial printer. You can use the serial
Is there an
printer.
adapter that's been made or something?
So I guess the typical would be to print via like a serial interface or, some other type of interface, like a TIPI might have print services. So that they can print via like internet printing like IPP or LPR, LPD.
I was just wondering, because I remember back then with dot matrix printers,
Yeah,
and then,
I still use them.
a big thing was coming
And-
out with
and
the
bubble jet.
laser jets.
Well, the
Where
inkjet was
somebody
a
Yeah,
intermediary.
Inkjet, yeah, the jet laser.
I print the
jet.
newsletter with an inkjet,
Mhm.
because
had the-
laser,
Color laser.
color laser is just
expensive.
very expensive to use. They see you coming there.
Yeah. Inkjets are still kind of expensive because you get very little ink for a whole lot of money.
Unless you buy third-party ink, like
Yeah.
I do.
And provided you have a inkjet printer that doesn't have ink cartridge lockout mechanism.
They're computerizing that. If they don't see their chip in the ink cartridge.
The
they
emulators have
pitch,
chips now.
pitch.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
It's always a war of attrition, right?
Oh, no, it's like one keeping up with the other, you know. Oh, this looks cool. What's this called?
Moonbase?
This is called Moonbase? Moonbase Alpha destroyed. It's
Okay.
like Space 1999, wasn't that called Alpha?
Yeah, well, Atlantis reminded me of this, but no, it's a,
They think in the movie Space 1999, the base
what
was called
fires the
Alpha.
laser? K.
Or sometimes as far as printing, the other alternative is to, you know, if you're like working in an emulation system, you'll
Print out a file. then-
right, you'll export it from your disk image and then,
Because that's what I've been doing. I've been classic 99ing and doing it in, you know, like a word processor, then
yeah.
copy and paste.
But on real hardware, yeah, it requires some type of interface.
Okay, so how did I have my, repair droid? For the right side. is-
Rick, you're not doing very well. Oh, there you go, fixed it. Oh, there you go. That looks like a TIE fighter.
Oh, from Star Wars.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, this is the Viper
This
from
is the
Battlestar
repair
Galactica.
droid, and this is the laser.
Ooh,
Just in time.
I don't know what that looks like. It looks like a space invader. Uh-oh.
I fell in a hole.
Top-down TIE fighter, sort of.
So you've got the laser, the yellow thing, and you can move it left and right. And you can fire the laser with the K key. And Q is the repair droid, you can move it left and right.
How does somebody get this game, Vic? It's on
That's
our
a good
library?
question.
I mean, people are looking at it going, I want to play that.
Mm-hmm.
What do? They call you?
No.
For $1 million.
Tell him you're off. Tell him you're off.
Yeah, yes.
Yeah, what would it cost to get Victor to come out to your house and set this up?
Well, for a 5.5-inch floppy disk, with all the programs you have seen today,
Mm-hmm.
I will deliver it in person by hand, anywhere in the world.
With a bottle of
for
scotch.
$1 million.
And a bottle of scotch.
But have you adjusted for inflation
Yes, but it's,
and market distortion?
yes. If you need a TI system to run it on,
Is this a program or a cartridge?
this is a bin file, so it's a cartridge.
It's a cartridge, okay, so we're just teasing you about this. We're showing you
No,
this
I'm
game
sure-
and you can
no.
never play it.
No, I'm sure if someone offered Vic $1 million, he would follow up on his
Yeah.
offer.
Is there any more games that people can never play, Vic, that we got?
Actually, all these games are available on Western Horizon Technology site. They're all available. And you can even play the games on Waleed Maloudi's Game Shelf site.
Is that the Italian site, or is that?
No, that's up in Minneapolis.
There's the
Called the
Italian
TI
Italian site
Game
has
Shelf.
one too.
Mhm.
TI
I
Game
can't read it
Shelf.
real well
Uh,
though. I do like this, I really do. I don't like
Yeah,
that
so
part.
it's a little complicated because you got the repair robot, the yellow one, or the green one, and then you've got your actual laser.
Uh-oh, here it comes.
what it is.
And you got a missile you can fire.
We'll just keep firing the missile,
That
right?
seems to be pretty good.
Well, it takes the time to get across.
Uh-oh, he missed, you missed.
And that's a double.
Uh-oh.
Well, that guy keeps,
Yeah, but you need to repair the spots where they're attacking. That one Kamikaze didn't do your shit.
I like this game, it's a cool game. I've never seen this before.
No.
Too many times.
It's like you almost need two people operating the keyboard.
Yeah, you take the repair guy and I'll take the,
you need Steve.
that would be an interesting two-player game.
Yeah.
Two
You need
people
Steve
play-
Martin, the guy with two brains, you know.
The man with two brains. Here's the missile. Uh-oh, it doesn't look good. Got
Yeah,
it.
that was good, because it got launched before it went on the screen, so it's usually, problem is, if it's too far to the left and you launch it too late, you're likely to miss it.
Is it unlimited missiles?
Is there, unload, we don't know?
I was
What
looking
does
at
it
the,
say here? Oh, no, it's got a picture of the,
Who's MBA?
I think the guy that designed it. Okay,
Oh,
there's
yeah.
no, my next hardware project is gonna be a 555 timer in the speech synthesizer, box with the load interrupt switch to stop the computer.
Okay.
Or it has a little volume control so you can slow it down. If
And how
you
much are you
actually-
gonna be selling those for?
Is it
yeah.
another $1 million item?
Hey, I wanted $1 million and get the second of.
Second one for half
Full
price.
value for half price.
Yeah, half price, and a bottle of scotch.
Yeah.
What was your favorite game, Dave? On the TI, you remember?
I liked, what was that one with the, where you'd swing from the vines?
Oh, well, that was Pitfall, but that was a different, I don't think TI, did TI have Pitfall?
Yes.
Jungle Hunt, yeah.
Yeah, the
Jungle
version
Hunt.
one. I couldn't remember the name.
And what was your name again?
Kyle.
Kyle, what was your favorite, what do you have one yet?
Yeah, a few. I'm
Few.
very new. I've been loving Hangman.
Hangman,
I have the
okay, Hangman, that's,
cartridge.
okay.
I've played around. I do have what is it? Tunnels of Doom. I have.
Good pick.
It's. I'm still learning it. It's. There's a learning curve. It seems
There's a
like
Tunnel Do
probably-
editor by a genius who made that,
He made
so,
it.
But you made the game?
no, the editor,
Oh, the editor.
not the game. No, but I'm just being sarcastic.
I've just recently I found there's a huge repository somebody put up of cassette files, and I'm trying to figure out how
Usually
to
happens.
get those onto a tape so that I can go through and
pretty
start
good
playing some of those. I've been having a little
reproduction
difficulty
of
with it.
Well, you have to have you got a cassette recorder, and then you got the
Cassette cable.
cassette
Yep,
cable.
I have that. So I tried hooking up a tablet and playing it directly, it wouldn't take it. And then when I tried to hook the tablet up to the cassette, I couldn't get it to record. But I haven't played around with it too much yet. I'm sure I'll figure
Because
it
it
out.
usually comes with a cassette or a disc.
Mhm.
I take it you don't have the disc system, you just have the base unit with the cassette connect. Is that
Yeah,
what
I
you
have
Is
the,
your cassette interface
Yeah.
a standard cassette interface?
it's a
cable?
TI one.
Yeah, so then the issue with that sometimes is that the plugs on those are mono, and your modern devices are stereo, and sometimes you will short the connector and
That's
volume
exactly,
level will be too low.
Might be
for it
playing,
to-
no, they have adapters, I thought, I know they have
They
adapters that'll take
do,
a,
they do.
that was gonna be my next step, was to try and buy the adapter.
so you're probably loading it from the wrong stereo channel.
That's what I think. So I tried doing it
It's-
halfway out. you know,
Right, sometimes
Oh,
you
It's
can
the
get away
tone,
with
the whole
jiggling.
thing is the tone.
That's my setup.
And the tone, you can, if you can play it, if you can play the cassette on your phone or on your
Nice.
recorder,
You can get a
the
here it
day
tone
is.
has to be set to a certain level. And it took me a hell of
you.
a long time to figure that
Pitfall.
one out, but.
They did have Pitfall, huh?
Yeah, it's a bin
that's the problem.
file.
Yeah, well, I mean,
That was always
Activision
the problem.
was a
Okay.
multi-plat, you know, was an independent game
keep
developer.
playing with
Well, I remember
the
Jungle
tone,
Hunt
and
because, well,
the
Jungle Hunt
more,
was in one of the,
Right, but I
the
mean,
higher the
but
tone, usually it
Activision, who
works.
did, you know,
You'll hear that
David Crane,
first.
who
Yeah,
did
Then
Pitfall, broke away
and
from
if it doesn't work the first time.
well, he
then
worked
set
for
the tone
Atari,
over
and the
higher
story
and
was
higher.
that they weren't getting, they
Set
they weren't
didn't
getting
get any credit for their,
Right.
or proper remuneration.
Right, so they
Yeah.
basically
A lot
formed a
of
game
programs
company
on
and they
cassette.
sold to every platform.
And that's why you see every game from Activision will have the name of the author on there,
Yeah,
I don't even know.
which you don't see in the Atari.
I haven't looked at one.
Well, let me see how this plays. I've never seen Pitfall on the TI.
Programs on there.
I don't think I
It'll get you out.
played Pitfall.
Or.
I think it was Jungle Hunt.
Give you
Yeah,
a
is the-
P-box.
I just remember
And,
swinging.
disc drive.
Because I think it's in the March edition.
That was one of the things on my list. This is currently everything. And yeah, I did the black and white TV on top because the bottom TV is a DVD player. I'm not gonna watch a movie, you know?
So we'll fix you up with a P-box, a disk drive or two, and
No more cassettes.
I'm having trouble getting that one
Cassettes
to
are
be
fine.
perfect, but it's enough to like play games on. If you wanted to start typing it, there's a few spots where the screen just won't
What
stay
do we got here? We got April.
flush.
Flush, yeah.
I figured.
It was nice though, better than what I
February.
have. I have a unit that I'm probably gonna bring it next month, see if it works.
Can I see that for a sec real quick?
This,
Yeah, I'll go right back to you. There's one of them where I know I put the ad in there. Yeah, there it is, see? See where it's got all the cartridges for the TI? I think Jungle Hunt's one of them. Let's see, I'm sorry, it's too small for me. Moon Patrol, Miss Pac-Man, Pole Position. They did all of them. So yeah, it was probably Jungle Hunt.
Yeah,
Thank you very much.
copy from Atari.
I swear, 20 years ago, the text used to be bigger.
Yeah, that's damn this thing.
Well, spring.
Every issue will come with a magnified, yeah, this is not published yet, so you can look at it if you want. That's
Spring
next,
is here.
that's next month. I'm ahead a little bit.
With spring too, because spring started in April.
Well, April's coming up.
No? March.
Yeah, this is
We've
Jungle
already
Hunt
passed-
I had
we've
last
already-
time.
April showers bring me flowers. So.
Solar spring is already upon us.
I like the way the whole
If you're
screen
gonna
Little
shapes
shapes.
TI with the
when you
umbrella
hit the
shading
ground.
it, so you did
I
that.
think it's pretty creative.
Yeah, I like graphics, I play with
Yeah.
graphics. I wanna put Jim on one of them, but I don't know if they'll let me. Did you see the picture I did of Hell? Oh yeah, I sent it to everybody. I didn't publish that one though. There you go, does that look familiar, Dave? That, I think that's Jungle Hunt,
But
right?
of-
Yeah,
but
this
of
is
course,
Jungle
I showed
Hunt.
you earlier my typical email interface. So it doesn't imply that I've looked at any graphics.
Well,
It's like you always gotta do it on the second
I just
swing.
assume.
You can't go right on the first swing.
Uh-oh, water.
Oh, no, jeez.
Time to knife some crocodiles.
Sorry, I'm,
We didn't knife the crocodile.
Yeah, you're gonna avoid
Rocky
those.
Dog.
And this is, now how do we get this cartridge if we wanna play this?
Or alligator, or
It's a bin
whatever
file.
it is.
Bin file, so it's in a
Right,
library?
so it was a cartridge, but
Okay.
I don't know if only a few people have gotten SD cards that I have my Final Grom on.
right, there's probably an archive somewhere that will have it in either bin file format or the original ROM dumps that you can probably
As
load on an
as an
emulator.
example, here's stuff that has been
The bin
posted
file
on
is kind of
Atari
specific to
Age.
the final
I'll
ROM.
press A.
and-
Yeah, unfortunately, the only stuff I'll
So
put on the webpage
Amazing
is stuff I've got
Adventure
permission
Alpiner
to, you know.
Aperture is fun. It's just like the YouTube video. Archiver is on here for some strange reason.
No, we're in games time now.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, Demon Attack.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
I just love that game.
Demon Attack and Super Demon Attack. One of these has speech and the other doesn't.
I don't remember, well,
I did
I
that
thought it was
as a-
always Super Demon Attack. It
A
was just
few
Demon Attack.
months ago.
I used to love Demon
Oh,
Attack.
we don't have a speech synthesizer hooked up anyway. But yeah, one of these has where the demons taunt you.
This was good graphics for the time, I remember.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, wow, that's cool looking. Yeah, this was a lot of fun. I used to love this.
Sort of reminds me of Ring Destroyer.
that doesn't match.
Demon Attack, this is cool.
Oh, shite.
Yeah, it's funny because
Oh, shite.
some of these games, I think they had the name Super in them, even though it doesn't show up on the screen. And I sort of wondered what happened to, these guys don't drop bombs. This is like your bonus round.
Hidden part, inflict send code.
Very good, excellent, Vic. Or Victor, I don't know. What do you prefer? Am I calling you
Vic
Vic?
is
You can
fine.
get me? Okay,
Yeah.
Vic's good, okay. I'm gonna
So
insult
anyway,
him
that
now.
was Atari Age. And we got down to Congo Bongo Demon Attack. We'll go to the next page by pressing the right arrow
Okay,
key.
who gets to pick now?
Notice in the upper right corner, it says 1-4,
Right,
and it shows a comma to the left of the 1 and a period to the right of the 4. So depending on here, I went to page 2, page 3, page
Got it.
4.
So here we go, fourth, Frogger, Hell's Hall. That was by Pixel Pedant. That was a game that he wrote that was a dungeon crawl. Hunt the Wampus, King of the Castle, Mars Attack. Mars Attack, I think it's by Francesco Uga.
You got a heck of a memory.
Microsurgeon was one of my favorite ones because you had the speech and you had the little microscopic submarine going through the person's veins. And it was actually a 2-joystick game. You could maneuver your ship with one stick and control the direction you fired with the
Never
other.
played that one.
And what's difficult
That was a tough game.
is I wanted to make a fixture to hold the 2 sticks
Right.
so
Yeah,
I
like a
could,
Robotron
you
kind
know,
of.
operate them. And then I need a joystick with a fire button on the top. And then to cure your patient, you have your laser for the globules and the tar in the lungs and the cholesterol.
Now, is that a picture of hell that we're trying to kill?
Yes. You
Okay.
have ultrasound for breaking up
You're
bacteria.
missing the scene where you extract the dollars from the wallet.
So here, press 8 for help.
Are gerbils involved?
Don't start. PG-13.
Yeah. So you have ultrasonics for destroying like globules and such, antibiotics for germs and bacteria,
This was very sophisticated for the
and
time.
aspirin for viruses, because there is no cure for a virus. All you can do is give them aspirin. And you can make your robot faster, you can make it slow.
And say adios, you know, you're on your own.
Yeah.
And
What year did this game come out?
This had to be late,
And I think
towards the
this
late
is- This
80s.
is another iMagic game, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I was wondering if the Dennis Quaid Martin
This is a
short
cartridge
movie was,
game.
yeah.
Inner
You
Space,
never
yeah.
know. Oh, another copyright issue, there we go.
yeah. And here's your diseases: tar, gallstones, kidney stones, cholesterol, tapeworms, tumors, infections, and a cold virus.
Yeah, but, you know,
Hell, you're
the
really messed up,
the
Hell.
shrinking people and injecting people
That
into
whole
one
list.
another is
I think
actually
Tapeworms?
science fiction.
Tapeworms for
Yeah,
sure.
done it a few times.
It's riding on the heels of the movie
That's why I
Fantastic
kept forgetting
Voyage.
off the ground, you know.
And tapeworms, that's, you gotta stop eating garbage.
Yeah, that's it.
Now you got 1,000 different patients you can treat, and I have yet to find one whose arrows, like in that bottom left corner, aren't all nearly a critical already.
Yeah.
But we could try patient 3 and see how bad he is.
Well, student, try student, maybe that gives you less. Oh, there, that's less. Got bad kidneys, he's infected, his heart's so-so, lungs, he's a smoker.
Probably been smoking that Marucci stuff. Hope he hasn't been buying in Evanston. We use our money to pay reparations to
As
people
you
in the Fifth Ward.
Navigate, it's quicker. You can see the upper right box there is a magnified view. And you can move quicker by going through the blood vessels and the heart.
I gotta be honest with you, this is something I'd like to play now.
Okay, here we go. Well, here, you shoot the bacteria and such,
Oh, man,
and,
I shouldn't have, kept it's not, don't open my mouth anymore, right?
I'll teach you.
okay,
Yes, the more you open your mouth, the more you
see,
get
if I move
volunteered.
this,
Oh, I'm shooting and you're moving.
yeah.
Oh, I see, I'm
So
trying to
we're
shoot the
two-player
black stuff.
mode now. And the white stuff there.
Oh, the white stuff too?
That white stuff,
That's not doing anything, I'm shooting it.
maybe that's part of the patient's body.
It's probably white blood cells.
Yeah, white
We're killing them off.
There we go, he's got cholesterol in
And you're
there.
tearing away a little of the tissue.
Oh, this guy, what, he's getting, this thing's advancing as we're curing him.
Yep.
Let's go like this.
Oh, here comes some poop. Yeah,
That's
watch
probably
it.
something.
Oh, you shot a,
I shot a good guy?
yeah, that was a white blood cell.
What am I shooting
Yeah,
now?
don't shoot those.
Are you feeling better, Hal?
They're on our
Is this
side.
doing anything?
Yeah, I think I'm gonna lose my lungs.
We gotta get up to the brain real quick.
Uh-oh, the
Oh, we
brain's
lost
gone.
the- Lost the kidney.
All bladder's gone, your intestines are gone.
Your kidney's gone and you got a brain
Heart's
you need a brain
ready to go.
transplant.
Yep.
I guess patient number 3 wasn't the best one.
Where did you get this brain from? What was his name? Abby something. Abby who? Abby Normal. I guess nobody saw Young Frankenstein.
Frankenstein. My favorite version of putting on the Ritz.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, I think there's the nurse.
That was a great
Pulling
movie.
Ivy's,
I love Mel Brooks.
It still shows he's got a line there, but,
The patient's is terminal. Get the guys from emergency out here.
This is what I call it, practicing medicine.
Yeah, Rampart, we have a male and... You ever notice in
What's the
emergency,
word?
they always call Rampart, and he always tells them to do the exact same thing for every person? Give them this shot and this shot and this shot and
Start
transport.
ringers.
Right, everyone's the same.
Yeah,
but that's pretty much SOP because,
give 'em Narcan.
once you got a line in them, running saline into them, then you can inject drugs a lot easier. You know, because you already got a line in them and you already got saline
That's
flowing.
probably the only thing they're actually allowed to carry.
Okay, there's the
you know.
heart.
Usually too, I think at least in Illinois, historically, medics were not allowed to administer medication, administer drugs at one point, I don't know about.
Yeah, I know they had to get special permission to,
Yeah, usually via the radio from an actual
Uh-oh.
physician
Well,
or
hit the white blood
ER
cell.
doctor.
I'll get you around these cholesterols. It says his gallbladder's in poor shape. Where's that at? Is this?
They don't need it, just take that out.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't have it, it's not even
That's
worth
right,
it, just
yeah.
take it out.
I don't
That's
have
the extra part. Yeah, you don't got yours.
Yeah, I don't have
Yeah,
mine.
you can put it next to the appendix and your tonsils and everything else, and then in the bag, you know.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that Fly movie with Jeff Goldblum. Where
Oh, that's creepy.
a piece falls out and he opens his medicine box and here's his dick.
He's like half full.
How about,
Here's the other parts that fell off, you know?
I gotta yell at you now, Vic.
Yeah.
Yeah,
This
yeah.
looks like an infection down here in the,
What is PA?
So if I press the button, it like does the super and kills everything on the screen, or is that just a different
no,
game?
I don't think there is a,
The super kill?
Be careful what you do here, you could blind them.
Good game, very good game.
Shoot them in the
Let's see,
eye.
what are we talking about? It's,
That's-
3:45.
yes, that's microsurgeon.
Jim, are we running out of film? Do we need another roll of film?
Well, we never did do too much with funnel web there.
We did a lot with Funnel Web.
Yeah.
That was great.
Here, L for Atari.
Do-do-do-do-do. I know this song. It's from. Do-do-do-do-do-do-do. What is this from? Jawbreaker.
Okay.
This has got to be one of the stupidest games I've ever seen.
What,
Have you played ET for Atari?
Oh, with the neck? Falls down.
What
Yeah.
is this actually trying to chew up one of these things or what?
Is this the one you gotta
Eat the
be?
dots,
Eat the dots.
You gotta be buzzed to play this one?
and if you clear the screen,
This had to be one of those things like I dare you to
Oh, there you
come up
go.
with a game
I see.
in about an hour.
And what, if you eat one of the little revolving things, that's bad?
well, they're jawbreakers. But there's a mode that if you have
There you
the,
go.
Up in this in the bottom.
You
You
got
got,
them all, didn't you?
you got a cane now.
after every meal,
I remember buying this in a cartridge
yeah.
and I was so upset. They wouldn't let me return it. It was like, remember they used to sell a lot of games through like video rental stores.
Yeah, yeah.
And they wouldn't let you return it because people would buy the game and play it and then return it when they were bored. And I played this one because at the time there wasn't a lot of games out. And I was like, oh my God, I spent how much for this? Was it like $50?
Oh, yeah, yeah. When,
1980s money?
I bought a Parsec for $79.
oh,
What I really wanted was T.I. Ryder, and the kids
bugged me and bugged, I had 3 little kids and they bugged me, please, please, can we get Parsec? So I got Parsec. And at the time, we just did the console and, had a little black and white TV so you couldn't see the colors. And,
Parsec's a great game.
yeah, so we played Parsec, and we played Parsec, and then we got the manual and typed in some of the games, and of course, they disappeared as soon as you turned the machine on, because we didn't even have any storage medium at all. And then we got a cassette.
You didn't need storage for Parsec.
No, you didn't, for Parsec, you didn't. But for everything else, all the other games,
All
because
the
the kids,
typing programs from 99er.
Well, that's why
Yeah,
your
that's-
first
yeah.
upgrade is a cassette
Yeah.
interface. And
So Hal, which was the #1 selling game for the TI 99?
zeros after that.
I remember when I got the TI and
Going through this.
I had a cassette recorder, but the cables were on back order, the cassette cable. So took me a couple weeks to get a cable. And so
Yeah.
I would type the game in and play the game, and I didn't want to
Leave it
turn the
on,
computer
yeah.
off.
Yeah.
But then eventually I had to turn the computer off, and the next day you sit there for
Yeah,
type the
it in,
game
yeah.
in.
That's part of the process for some of us.
Do you remember Electech?
Yes,
Electech, when I went to Electech after they had.
before they moved.
Yeah,
It
before.
was
they-
like a little
Yeah.
little
And
dive.
I went in there and I asked the guy what he had for TI. He said, oh, we've never sold TI. I took him over to the shelf. I said, you see the stuff on the shelf and the blister packs? Where'd that come from? He said, I don't know anything about that. And he handed it to me and said, you can have it. And it was a cassette cable. Okay, I'll put it in my collection. It's still in the bag, so it should be worth something, because,
Oh, yeah.
you keep the bag and you keep
Uh-huh.
the package and stuff. In 25 years, I'll send my great grandchildren to college with it.
New old stock.
Yeah.
Well, I got that video module.
Minimum
still in the
reserve.
Plastic bag,
Yeah, and they sold, at one point, they were selling the switching power supplies.
Uh-huh.
And it was a kid, about.
FCC approved?
They were selling.
Well, if
they
you're
were
buying it
selling
aftermarket, who cares?
all kinds of crap that,
You turn it on and the rest of the house
said
gets
they
scrambled, who
weren't selling,
cares?
Does anybody make the cassette cable like reproductions of it?
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm kind of terrified that if I break mine, I'm
Oh, it's.
done.
I know they have the plans online, and it's
Yeah,
really hard to
they're-
do.
You can
Right, it's
use-
just a
it's
9-pin
it's just
G-sub.
RCA cables, as I recall.
But it was nice, you used to be able to go to Radio
They're
Shack and they
phono
have all the bins and you can get all the parts, and now you gotta order everything
Right, but
online.
not everyone's handy with a soldering
You can
iron.
just
True.
put RCA cables that are universal, like
It's-
these things.
Yeah, there's nothing magic about the
Well, yeah, something
cable,
like
it's
this,
just
I
phono
reckon.
plugs and a
Yeah,
9-pin.
Gregory-
But if he hooks you up with a P-box and a disk drive, you're not gonna use the cable.
Yeah,
I'm
well,
gonna move past that quickly.
project for me is I'm
Yes.
working on a cassette interface that is not cassette.
Good.
Just, I like small projects that are friendly to new users, that, you don't have to spend a lot of money and don't have to.
It'd be nice if people would have, and we were talking about this, the console, and you don't need that expansion box.
Yeah,
The biggest thing for me, and I think they do have it, is a USB interface would be an immense, we live in a USB world.
There's a guy who did it through Raspberry Pi I saw. I don't know.
right,
how,
there's the
but-
tippy,
Yeah.
but that's sort of the
Yeah.
800-pound gorilla to getting expansion. It's
Yeah.
like, okay, do you use this device that is several times the magnitude of power, computing
Yeah.
power, that could emulate the system from end to end to simulate storage? Or do you just use an emulator?
Yeah,
All right,
the
most of
tipping,
these
you
games-
need your laptop.
We've had so many
It's a
different
file
things. I've
server.
got the.
All those games that you're
Buffalo
demonstrating, I
Drive,
have on an
games
emulator. One of these days we'll have to
and
demonstrate
All
that.
Yeah.
kinds of crap. that
Like
we
next
use.
month.
And USB.
You
has
let me know
changed.
when you have a free month.
USB is now what, about,
We're on
well,
three, we are,
Years old.
this one uses the blue.
I can't
What is
guarantee
that?
I'll be
we
back
have,
in
we have
July.
version, three
May.
And,
Okay, we're all babbling. Do we want to end this correctively, or we want to keep going on? Because everybody's just kind of talking right now.
Yeah, maybe we
Yeah,
should
we
just,
should
so that if somebody does come to the door, we don't have to keep them waiting for 20 minutes.
Okay.
And,
Okay, so
so,
sign off.
Sign off, my friend.
do we know when the next meeting will be?
Good question.
Does anybody have a calendar?
Because the whole idea of doing this a week early was because.
Well, that would be,
You are traveling after the holiday.
the first Saturday in May would be the 4th.
The
4th. How does 4th sound to
I
everybody?
think there was some, let me see if I can find that email that I sent out that had Vic's
The bad
schedule.
days?
Yeah, I think I'll be home, we'll be home by then. Just gonna take a month off for traveling now that my wife's retired.
Well, what it
We
is
got her-
whatever meeting you can't make,
Yeah.
we could show the emulator.
Yeah.
So we'll do it that way, so. I
Or
hope
even
you're,
if I'm here, you could run that.
no, no,
You could do
no, why
back to
waste it?
back,
I
whatever.
mean, you, well, either way, like I said, but if you're here, I'd rather you do all the work
Yeah,
than
I'd say
me.
the, May 4th.
May 4th? Sound
May
good?
Oh, I remember what the issue was at May 4th.
It's Star Wars Day.
Well,
May the
no.
4th be with you.
Ah,
I have another event that weekend, but I will probably only do the Sunday, so it's probably a non-issue.
Okay. So we're gonna semi-lock May the 4th,
I think that sounds good to me.
and we'll make it official on the webpage.
Yeah, and we'll make it official right now. We'll say, hey, we'll see you on May the 4th. Thanks for showing by, coming by.
We'll be demonstrating all the
If you're
Star
still
Wars
watching-
games,
if you're still
right?
watching in Germany, we'll say auf Wiedersehen. And
We got new friends in, what's this, Sweden?
So, if do we have the flag, or are we going to just? fade
Yeah,
away
we'll
today?
run that.
May the 4th. You know, I took my wife to Disneyland, a couple of years ago. We never been to Disneyland, Disney World, right? We went on May the 4th, not knowing Star Wars, anything to do with it.
Yeah, I pulled
Parking
up-
lot was
I pulled up
filled,
the
everybody's
email.
dressed up, we're like, what the hell? All the can't get on any rides,
Yeah.
and they says, it's Star Wars Day.
Oh, well, every year I miss Pi Day. Every single year I've always missed Pi Day, which is.
So Vic, I pulled up the
14th.
document that
And,
had your dates on it. 4th looks good for you,
And some places
based on
actually
that
give
as
you a
well.
piece of pie. I think it was Baker
Okay,
Square
good.
used to give you a piece of.
I
pie.
live 4 blocks from Baker Square, Pi Day is every day.
Is it-
Of course, I gotta pay.
If you can find a Baker
Pi
Square.
Day is any
bar.
day that you lack pie.
Who doesn't like pie?
I said lack, not like.
What's your favorite pie,
Mine, cherry.
Jerry?
But my wife's is key lime, which I
Key
kinda like.
lime,
Key
yeah,
lime is
I was gonna
excellent.
say key
But
lime.
that's seasonal. Key lime is great.
I like apple pie with a piece of American cheese.
Apple a la mode or something? Oh, no, cheese.
This is cheese.
Cheese.
What is that tradition?
All right, hold on, we got the flag, here we go.
We should all stand up and salute, but we all are standing up over here.
And we have a large 18-foot
We're
flag on
standing
the
up in
wall.
principle.
Hands on the heart,
We
always.
have
Is this
a
like
color-
the United Center where everybody
We
would
have a
start
color guard
cheering?
and they're gonna fire the salute, but you may not hear it because it'll hurt the microphone. if we
You know, in
turn
future
it off.
meetings, I think Hal should sing the national anthem like they do at the United Center now.
Oh, yeah.
I thought we
Could you
just
do
had
it?
a celebrity to do
Many
that.
people have heard me sing in public and gone on to live perfectly normal lives, but why risk it?
But, and perhaps he has the advantage of stimulating the mental health industry as well.
It would definitely clear out the rest of the library and.
Thank you,
We can meet anywhere. Jim, I have a challenge for you.
You're challenging the
When-
Chiefs?
When this is signed off.
Take care, everybody. We'll see you next month.
Yep, hopefully,
Play ball.
Play ball.
God willing. Are we, oh,